in the internet marketing business, showed me a system, how to leverage it, and this is where I am today. It wasn't always this case. I knew nothing about internet marketing before I met Shaqir Hussein. In fact, I lived an incredibly successful corporate career over the last 22 years, was fortunate enough to live around the world. But it came at a price that I was no longer able to pay. Not only did I have a horrible, life-threatening smoking habit, but I traded too much of my time for a massive paycheck and really didn't have enough time to spend with my family. I was never there in my mind for my family, even on weekends, because you guys who are in corporate, you know that feeling. That gut-wrenching, nauseating feeling that in 2 days' time, all that's going to repeat itself on Monday, when the siege of swallowing pride, heading into that office, earning that hefty paycheck starts all over again on Monday morning, and you got a whole another week of that. That was a cycle that I was in. No time, earning a good paycheck, but really, the trade-off was incredibly imbalanced. I was eventually let go. The point in time where it did happen, my whole world caved in. My wife was diagnosed with cancer, and we almost lost her. So little Yasmin almost lost her mom. I almost lost my wife. Incredible lifestyle with a great income. You're actually at risk. What I'm suggesting is you got to look at opportunities to diversify your streams of income so that you can actually create that soft landing in case something happens. And the system that Shaqir is going to be showing you right on this page, you're going to have to take a look at it, okay? It's self-explanatory, it works. But the difference between why it works for somebody and why it may not work for somebody else is the individual. And Shaqir is going to be able to show you how you can actually get started right on this page. So big shout out to Shaqir, my brother. Thank you. Continue to help change the lives of other people around the world with what you're doing, just like you've done with mine. Take care. We'll see you guys at the top, giving you some last minute shots of Muiwo Village. This is probably the last time I'm going to be here. Started off about when I was a teenager in high school, hanging out in this place. Awesome. Take care, guys. Good luck on your journey. We'll see you at the top. Bye.
Wow, wow, wow. How many of you guys got excited by that? Whoa, let me know, you guys. Let me know who is excited by this. Yeah, so I mean, every time I watch that video, every time I watch this video, it's like my mind just opens up. And, you know, Ian became a client of ours. It's funny because my hairs just stood up, okay? And my hairs only stand up when I feel like, when I'm really talking and sharing something that's really impacted my life, right? And if you guys think that Ian, how many of you found Ian to be inspirational? By a show of hands. All right. Let me tell you, Ian started off like you guys. You know, he would watch my webinars, and at the time he must have been, how old was he? Like, I don't know, he was in his 50s, I think, okay? Early 50s. And one day, you know, I'm like doing these webinars. So if you think this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this for 10 years and I was as crazy back then as I am now. So I must have told everyone, hey guys, join me for an hour. And you know what my hour means? 4 hours. So Ian joins me on a webinar like this, like you guys are on, okay? Today we call it challenge. It's just a fancy term, but it was a webinar. And here's what happens, okay? The webinar goes until 4 a.m. Now, Ian is in Hong Kong. So there's a huge time difference, okay? Because that's where he was born, right? Hong Kong, yeah. China? Okay, so he was born in Hong Kong. So he's living in Hong Kong, and he realizes this young kid in London is staying up until 4 a.m. to do this webinar. And he says, this guy is committed to his students. If he's committed to his students, I'm going to commit. He gets on the phone, literally. He watches the webinar, he books a phone call, and he puts down something like $65,000. Now, you have to understand, this was nearly a decade ago, I think good 6-7 years ago. And then he came on, he rose right to the top in our as a student. And then because of his amazing progress, I employed him. Okay, how many of you would love to join the Wealth Academy or the Funnels team? Well, guess what happens? A lot of the times when people become superstar clients, we tell them, hey, you can come and help us with our events. Hey, you can come and help us with XYZ. And we take it really to the next level. And so with Ian, what happened was, Ian, after a number of years, he started traveling around the world, hosting events for me. So we would host events and workshops. And right at the end, what he did was he left, and because my competitor that had like 400 staff members offered him a really great package. And long story short, he left, but he left me something much better. You guys want to know what that was? Mikey, come over here. Mikey, come over here. Okay, come over here, because I got something way better, and I got this guy to be with me. Everyone say hello, Mikey. All the ladies.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
All the ladies type in, we love you, Mikey.
I love you as well.
Because without this guy, none of this camera stuff, it would have been just plain old simple you and me, okay? So people are saying, we love you, Mikey. Hey, Mikey. Even the guys are saying, we love you, Mikey. So give Mikey a big round of applause, you guys. Mikey, I want to say I appreciate you. It's not easy being around me because I have high standards for my clients. My clients come from all over the world. Sometimes they come in and they have no idea about internet marketing. And then a story that I share, a secret, a lesson, or something I say inspires them to go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 with me. How many of you can feel that, by the way? So guess what happens? I take it on as a very serious responsibility. That's why client like Glenda, everyone wave to Glenda. Glenda's been with me for, I don't know, 7, 8 years. And she's seen me through so many different variations. I used to be the guy on stage with wearing a bright red suit with bright red shoes. Those days are long gone. Okay. She's seen me go through. She saw me, getting married now for the last 5 years. And now I'm focusing on my health, and now I'm focusing on building this next evolution of my own company. And so when I share this with you is because today I spoke to a handful of you guys, maybe 4 or 5 people, I think it was. And some of you are like ready to go. Some of you, I know you're learning a lot and you want to work with us. Some of you, sometimes the little devil, the little monkey inside of us, it gets the best of us. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you're like, I want to go and I want to invest in myself. Excuse me. And sometimes what happens is when you try to make a decision, your friends and family members, they might hold you back. Has anyone experienced this before? Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your grandkids, maybe it's the people around you. And one of the first pieces, if you can turn that volume down, please. One of the first pieces of advice that I learned is environment is everything. And I'll say this to you very vulnerably and openly. One, I love my dad, God bless him. I pray for him. I love him. I see him often. I was with him today. But when I was starting off, I looked up to him, obviously, since I was a kid. And I saw him succeed in entrepreneurship and in business and all of this stuff. But when I wanted to start my business, for some reason, he didn't want to encourage that. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay. And the reason why I share that is because he kept thinking and believing that he got lucky in entrepreneurship. So he'd say he got lucky in property, in business, and mashallah, God bless him. He's had so much success in his life. So he would always say it's luck, right? And that's because he didn't have something called a mentor. Does that make sense? Okay. So no matter what he would do, he would turn around to me and be like, you don't want to be a business owner. You just want to go and study and get a degree and, work your way up. And I'd always be very confused. How many of you kind of sometimes feel confused in life, especially when it comes to making money? Okay. I can't help you with your personal issues, but when it comes to business and marketing, bring me all of your goals and desires and fantasies and dreams, and I'll help you with those. Okay. So I remember early on, I had to make a clear commitment, and I want you guys to write this down. Okay. This is the 4 C's book. 4 C's. Dance and Rhythms. It was here, the blue one. Okay, so write this down. Number one, here, I've got it. All right, you guys don't need to read the book because I'm going to summarize it for you. So remember, I told you guys, I spent $35,000 with a mentor. His name was Dan Sullivan. I think he's now 80 years old, from Toronto, Canada. How many of you remember that story? Okay, so I learned something from him called the 4 C's formula. Okay, 4 C's formula. And this shift, it changed my life. It still changes my life. And that was so many years ago. This is the beauty of mentorship. Who was I speaking to today? Who was I speaking to? Devon. I was speaking to Devon Dames today. Okay. Devon said to me something, which was, he really valued the fact that I spent $25,000 with Russell Brunson on one phone call. I saved 400 grand. Okay, where I'm from in London, you could just buy half a house in London for 400 grand. Okay, that was supposed to be a joke. I don't think anyone found it funny. But anyway, regardless, okay. So Devon says that to me, and I'm thinking to myself, Devon, if only you knew the other money that I spent. So when I paid Dan Sullivan $35,000, these are the 4 steps. Here's the first one. Number 1 is commitment. Okay. Number 1 is commitment. And the reason why you want to have a big commitment is because commitment leads you to becoming courageous. Today, I say to you, invest $50,000 to join my Inner Circle Mastermind program. There's no discounts. There's no mates rates. Please don't ask me for those things. You get the point. It's $50,000. Hundreds and hundreds of people have come and joined my Inner Circle. The first thing in your mind, maybe not your mind, but most people's mind goes, I can't afford it. That's too much. Oh my gosh, why would I pay for that? I'm not saying you. I'm just saying there's a group of people this comes along, okay? So the reason this comes along is because number 1, they're lacking the courage. So to create courage, you want to have a bigger commitment. Write this down. How do you have a bigger commitment? You have to sell yourself on a bigger, better, brighter future. Okay. And you have to have people around you that remind you. Today, I said something literally just before I started this challenge, and my wife, boom, just looks at me and she goes, hey, you're the solutions guy, remember? The more solutions you come up with, the more money you make. And I looked at her and I thought, she's right, because that's what I teach. Yes or no? If you can take what's in your head, if you can take your passion and your commitment and your courage from in your head, and you can package it up in digital courses, programs, blah, 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 and you sell it to other people, now you're solving other people's problems. And if you're an introvert, you want to stay behind the scenes and you want to make money, well, guess what you can do? You can partner up with other people and get them to be the face. Does that make sense? Okay, and so what I found as well, and I want to just share this with you guys, is when you have a bigger future and you plan for a bigger future, the commitment creates courage. The more courage that you have, the more that you are going to try different things. Does that make sense? The more that you try different things, write this down. Number 3, you are going to develop new capabilities. Okay. What is the new capabilities? New capabilities is essentially new skills. Okay. So courage creates capabilities. When you commit to achieving a breakthrough in your performance, in your results, that commitment that you made, that triggers the courage to go into unknown territory. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Okay. I like to bring it down, and the reason why I share some of these stories is because some of it will break down, hey, this is why this guy thinks like that. So for example, in my own life, let's just say I have a bigger future than myself, which means sometimes my family may I know this, my friends and family may not have invested in Bitcoin when it was $1,000, $2,000. So someone had to take the courage, yes or no? And this is what you have to remember. Sometimes you don't need your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your society, your culture. You don't need anyone's permission. Do you guys get that? How many of you feel a little bit free just being reminded? Okay. I was speaking to actually Devon today, and he said, I gotta tell you, Shaq. He goes, Shaqir, the first day you started doing this Zoom class, he goes, man, I couldn't even understand how you can't even use Zoom. And what did I say to you? I said, man, you don't need to know everything about everything. Okay, so what happens is when you start developing new capabilities, that automatically develops new levels of confidence. So bigger futures come from new capabilities. And this is what the box looks like, okay? This is what the box looks like, if you can see here. Can you guys see this? Can you guys all see this? Okay, so commitment leads into courage. The courage leads into new capabilities and new confidence. So every time you get stuck, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, ask yourself, where are you on right now? Maybe you don't have the confidence. Okay, what do you need to do? You need to build a bigger commitment, yes or no? Just today, let's just say I spoke to a handful of people, but just today, I'm going to pick on Devon and Abid, actually. Okay, so can you make Abid on the full screen, please? So if Abid's there, Abid, Assalamu alaikum. I think he's muted.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaqir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing very well. How are you doing? It was great to talk to you.
I'm good.
Great to speak to you today. I'm glad we could connect. So, I mean, you were sharing with me how, you are joining our Inner Circle program, right? Actually, just tell us a little bit about your background and why you've decided to join us for our VIP Funnels Accelerator, our VIP programs.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier in the challenge, like I've been working in corporate all my life, 20 years, over 20 years working in IT, and I do realize that life in the corporate world, it is limited, or your career, I should say, is limited. There comes a time when nobody wants to hire you anymore. Honest, speaking from experience, it happens, especially in a field like IT, because technology is changing so fast that for people who are on the other side of 50, for them to keep up with it, it becomes very difficult. So because there are younger people coming out straight from university, knowing all the new skills, and by these new skills, I mean in IT, things change in like 4 years, like every 4 or 5 years, some new paradigm comes up, everything is changed. And to keep up with that, it is difficult. And after a certain time, you find that the job opportunities, I've been having a job or a contract, a consultant working as a consultant all my life. So you find that those are drying up. So that is for going back to like a few years, I started looking at what to do as an alternate, as a let's say a source of income or something. So I've been looking at different seminars like yours, Shaqir, and I looked at Anik Singhal, and there's, I think, even Brunson. I looked at one of his seminars. I didn't sign up for it, but I just had, the taster seminar, they call it. It's essentially, it is their funnel. It's the first step into their world. So I did look at that, but I came away skeptical. So I wasn't convinced that that it would do what they said, and somehow something didn't connect. I didn't connect with them, to be honest. So with whatever they were saying, etc. I'm not saying they're bad, mind you. I'm in no position to judge them, but I was not connecting with them when I came away from this seminar. So I always at the last minute I held off pressing the button to submit the payment or something with them. So it went to that level where I was almost ready to pay, but I always backed out at the last minute. So going back to, so I've been thinking, then I also came across yours, like I mentioned, I think last year, to the end of last year or something, I saw a video, I think, and from there I wanted to go for the 5-day challenge, but something came up or something, so I missed the date, so something like that. I can't recall. Anyway, so that was always on my mind that I need to attend this 5-day challenge. So when this opportunity came up, I signed up for that. Now going back to why and this, to be honest, this 5-day challenge, it really convinced me to really go all out on this and sign up for the actual, the accelerator program. And I'll tell you the reason. So I have done a lot of work. I've done investments, stock, real estate, everything. And I made some money, I lost a lot of money also. Okay, both sides of the coin. So I'm looking for an opportunity where I feel that I am in control and I have somebody to support me or mentor me in the journey towards where I want to go. So that is what I liked from your this 5-day challenge and the way you talk about it. So that convinced me. So if there is a sincerity in your voice, that's my personal opinion. Everybody does not have to agree with it. I feel there is a sincerity in what you are saying, and I like that. So that is one of the reasons. And the other thing is, I think it's for the wider audience that everyone here that everyone should change what they are doing if they want to improve their life or whatever. Because I don't know who it was who said that if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, it's a sign of madness. I think it was Einstein who said that. So
Einstein,
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're going for the same job every day, same type of job, maybe okay, you get a promotion, maybe you change jobs. So essentially, it's the same thing. You're exchanging your time for money. That's what a job is. I give my time to an employer in exchange for what they pay me, but I'm not in control there. The employer is in control. They can sign me off or lay me off anytime they please, anytime it pleases them. So that is one thing. So in order to get out of that cycle, you need to do something different. And then I also came across, so this is some time ago, actually, I heard it. And I will not be able to deliver it, as I think it was Denzel Washington. It's he gave a speech somewhere. You know the actor, Hollywood actor, Denzel. He gave a speech somewhere, and in it, one of the statements he used, and it really stuck with me. And what he said was, and I don't know who actually said this, maybe he just quoted somebody. So in order to do something, in order to get or achieve something you have never had, you need to do something you've never done. So for me, if I use my example, I am coming out of my comfort zone, signing up for this program, costing whatever, thousands of dollars. It's a big commitment. I agree, but again, just what you said, like commitment will give you the courage to and the confidence to yeah, that's the 4 C's formula, essentially what this is. And also, I'll use another example also. It's very important to have some skin in the game.
how many of you agree with that? Type in, I agree. When you pay attention. Always remember.
Exactly. And I'll use a small example. So I have access to this website, which has, in IT, we do need to reference a lot of books, IT books. So I have this website where I can literally get any IT book that is out there, and it's free. Okay. So, and what happens? I think I've downloaded about 2 terabytes, maybe more than 2 terabytes of books. And guess how many times I've read those books?
Wow.
0. Okay, because I never spent any money out there. Well, I like a book, okay, click, download, okay, it's there. I never look at them. But if I had bought them, I think I would have really spent a lot of time on the books. So I'm thinking of this, I suppose it applies to everyone. Think of this as an investment in yourself rather than as an expense. So you're making that investment, you're bringing Shaqir as a coach, as a mentor, and of course the goal is to get to where you want to be. And since he has already been there, he should be able to guide you, get you there much quicker than you would. I am not saying you cannot do this on your own. I don't think Shaqir would also say you can probably do this on your own also, but it might take you like 2-3 years. Shaqir, how long did it take you to when you started out? But even you had a lot of mentors and everything, correct?
100%. I mean, as soon as I figured out I want a new life, I want something better for myself, and I can either make friends, or let me say this, I can either try to make friends and hope that I can get there, or I can just buy my way in. Do you guys get that? And let me tell you this right now. I don't care how good looking you are, charming, charismatic, cute, all of these things. Don't try that route, because it really works and you can spend a lot of time. And you know why? Because during that specific time, I had two friends, okay? One was this like ripped, shredded bodybuilding type of dude. And this other lady was this blonde woman from Ukraine. And I was 20, 21 years old. And they were also, you know, similar age. And we were like all trying to make it out there. They had everything going for them. Okay. I was the guy that had nothing going, except I started realizing, hey, if I invest in myself, then I can get one or two things and I'll pay attention. Because, you know, back in the day, they would get all these free seminars. And I would think to myself, why do you guys keep going to free seminars? Because if you go to free seminars, all they do is just pitch you stuff. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? Okay, now 10 years later, all I remember is their names very briefly. I can't even remember what they even look like, because it was just like, we started off together, and then guess what happens? Small decisions. Does that make sense? So you may be thinking, hey, if I spend $10,000 today that I don't have, or if I spend $50,000 or $30,000, whatever the case is, whatever you qualify for, of course, is a lot of money. Of course, is scary. But on the other side of the fear is where all of your dreams lie. Does that make sense? Every single thing that you want, and I learned this from a guy called Brian Tracy. Okay, I met him. He's now about 75, 80 years old, and I met him in Toronto, Canada. And I said to him stuff like, you know, thank you so much for all your work, but I couldn't have a proper conversation with him because he's on a wheelchair and he was speaking on stage. I wanted to respect his privacy. So he used to say, imagine this is where you're at and you have all these big goals and dreams. You already know what skills you need to develop. How many of you agree? You already know what systems you need. You're making $5,000 to $10,000 a month, but you've been dreaming for the last 5 years to get to $100,000 a month. Who was I speaking to yesterday? One of you guys. And he said, you know, he's been trying to launch his agency for 1 year. And I said, okay, where's your website funnel? I don't have one. Where's your webinar that gets people to come to you? I don't have one. Okay, so then how are you going to even make $10,000 or $20,000 a month? Does that make sense? So what happens is, what I figured out is, the more that you pay, the more you pay attention. If you think about that, this guy, Dan Sullivan, who I paid $35,000, I know the concepts in his books. By the way, it's mindset stuff, right? Why do I read those versus all of the thousands of books in my fancy bookshelf over there, color-coded? Okay, why? These books probably didn't even cost me maybe more than $20, right? $30. By the way, I don't ever think that this book cost me whatever it is. I look at this and I think this is what I paid $35,000 for. You guys see the difference? So I will go and reference that book. It's just how the mind works. So I want to just say, by the way, everyone say congratulations, Abid, right? Give him a thumbs up. You're going to hear, he's an absolute superstar. You're going to hear about his success. Toronto, Canada. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to coming back very soon, seeing Glenda and Abid. And then I'm gonna bring on Devon James. Is Devon here?
Yes, I am.
Put him on the big screen, please. Okay,
How you doing, Shaq?
I'm doing awesome. I'm doing
Man,
awesome. Please
I'm-
give us your background, because you know you also, just like Abid, I always have interesting clients. So fire away.
All right. Short story is, I am all degreed up to the wazoo, right? Meaning accounting degree, finance degree, and MBA. Then I got a doctoral degree in international business, right? So I went that route, but I didn't go that route for money considerations. I went that route because it was a passion. It was always something that I promised myself that I would complete. However, before I even did education, I was a college dropout, right? And at the University of Miami, 2 years in, my father sent the check to University of Miami for $40,000. I took the check, came to me by accident. I took the check back home to Nassau, Bahamas. I financed the $40,000 with a project right across the street from him, took his inventory and his staff, and opened up a carpet shop. That year, within 12 months, how many of you been to Atlantis, Paradise Island, Nassau, Bahamas?
I have.
Okay, good. Well, in that hotel, everything for the 3 towers between 1999 and 2001 came from me. So yeah, Saul Kirshner wrote me a check for millions of dollars, and the next year after 9/11 occurred, I lost it, right? So I had to pick a new path. So my new path was to come to the United States, become a success for both my family and myself. And in the process, I found love. I found a wonderful woman who believed in me, and she does now. But I don't know if she's gonna believe in me anymore after I write this check to Shaq, right? Because she gonna kill me. However, I know the type of person I got, and I know she's gonna tell me, Devon, you go for it with all your heart and all your might, because I believe in you. And that's nothing new. That's something that she's always been saying from day one. So all of our dreams, all of our whys were wrapped up. So we had some success. I opened up her medical clinic for the last, from 2010 to 2020. She's a beautiful surgeon here in the Melbourne, Florida area, and she delivers babies. And we had a great ride. Now COVID came in, right? So now we have to reinvent ourselves. So she turned to me, she said, well, what are you going to do now? I said, well, hon, I'm going to open an accounting firm and we're going to do wonders. And that's exactly what we did. But something was gnawing at me for years. How do these individuals, I mean, I know all the math, I know all the chemistry, I know all these foundations. I could find money at the credit union. I can leverage that and put that into a trust. I could, I do a lot of fancy dance work here in terms of leveraging, in terms of finding money and getting tax breaks. So we do a great job with that. I know how to be in the 0% category for taxes. That's a given, right? But how do these individuals make 10 million a year, 20 million a year, 30 million a year? How do you get to that, right? There's nobody going to show you that unless you make a commitment into yourself and their program. What had dawned on me for Shaq's program is, Shaq, I feel that you're the person that will take off your shirt and give it to your student. And I feel that, and I know that exactly the type of person you are, because I hear it in each and every one of your clients. Scott said it when he mentioned that he was only at $100,000 a year. And he might have been comfortable, but something was gnawing at him too. And it made him a believer that, you know what, I need to take a chance on myself. I need to do something that I've never done before. Now he's doing $1 million a month.
Yeah, actually, he was doing around 100 grand a month, and now he's doing around $1.5 million a month.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's
that could give you a false sense of hope, right? Meaning, because no matter where you're at, if you get into a comfort zone, you can tend to stay there and lose the time commitment that you have. And what I'm trying to get at is, I could spend the next 10 years, 15 years, where's my life going to be? So my greater component of the why, which I think I committed to a story like Ian. Ian said it best on his recording. He said, you know, we're all in the corporate world, but I notice Ian is on a boat. I notice Ian is traveling and living with his family to the best life possible. My boat is a Fleming 65. I took a look at that boat 2 weeks ago. Shaq, we gonna get to that boat and I'm gonna pay for it in cash and then we gonna celebrate. And why?
Let's go.
I know. Why do I know that I'm gonna get there? Right after I hang up from you, I called the Capital team and I said, look, you guys don't have a funnel. I wanna sell your product and I wanna use your case study.
Oh my,
said,
guys, give
"Do
this
you
guy a
know-"
big round of applause. Let's go.
Do you know anything about funnels? You're doing 506C programs and you're raising capital? Tell you what, I'm going to pay you 10 grand to go through the product with you to see how it works. And if I can mass produce it, I said, I'm going to sell your product for $35,000. I'm going to give you 10 and you're going to be extremely happy. You know what he said? He said, I love it. Let's do it. Wow. I don't even know anything about funnels yet. Right? I just put my first Facebook ad out 2 days ago. But nonetheless, I now have a client in a high category. All I need to do is sell his product, like Shaq said, brand it underneath my own brand. And now I need to sell 50 other products just like it. Wow. So Shaq, thank you. My family, thank you. My why is answered. And I know I'm surrounded by people with heart versus who is just give me, give me, give me. No, what you're saying is, Devon, make a commitment in yourself, and guess what? The rest will follow. And for those of us who have invested in ourselves over the years, we know that there's no free lunch out there. So if you have a difficulty with understanding where to get that money, guess what? If you have a life insurance policy with cash value, pull the money out. Invest it in your business, write it off as a business expense, let Uncle Sam take care of the taxes for you. So get a deduction there. If you have a car with value, go to any credit union, refinance it, put the money back later after you made it. So technically speaking, 50, let's say even $75,000, expand that over a six-year term. You're now only paying $600 to $700 a month. Finance your own projects in your own skill level, but also make sure you get a payday. And I always like to wrap my investments into a tax deductible solution. So always invest in your company as a capital corporate invest. And when that money comes back to you, that comes back to you tax-free. And you get to write it off as a business expense.
Guys, Dr. Devon, thank you so much. Listen, guys, I'm so blown away. I'm so humble. It's weird because I usually have like lots of things to say, right, team? I'm like, well, what else should I don't even know what else to add. I mean, between you two gentlemen, wow. You know, this is why I truly believe, one, I definitely do this more than just for money. How many of you believe that? Right? Listen, I could wrap these things up in 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I've been going literally 3, 4, sometimes 4.5 hours each and every single day. And let me tell you this, there's guys in the office as well. They're not usually allowed after 6 p.m. My wife wants them out of the penthouse, okay? They've been here until 1, 2, maybe 2:30 a.m. each and every single day. So I know some of my team members like Judy, I can see a handful of the others are online as well. I just want to say thank you, team, okay? Because if it's not for the team, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now, Marilyn. So give them a big round of applause, you guys, okay? And I'm going to just bring on one more person, which is Jenny Kim. Jenny, we'll give you, say, 2 minutes. There you go. Everyone say hello, Jenny.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Jenny. So yesterday you committed, actually, I just saw a Stripe payment come through from your credit card or something. So one, great congratulations. Great job on registering. Just let us know what's the main reason that you've decided to invest with us and to move forward.
So the biggest thing is enough is enough. We've tried everything, spinning everything, and most of us are knowledge experts in our own field, and we would give our shirts off our back, so to speak, just like Shaqir. So it's time, and we're not getting any younger. I've been around business, environment, the community, and I think it's time that, we need to find the right answer. The right answer that I saw is in you and what you've done for your clients and your students and the passion that you have. Shaq was on a call with me at 2 a.m. in London time. So I don't know about you, but 2 a.m. is really tough, no matter how passionate I am. And the days that I was at 2 a.m. is like 20 years ago, right? So, so I truly appreciate the way that he wanted to work with me and the passion that he saw what I could do for me and my family. And I don't see this as a like a cost. It's an investment in your business and for your future. So what does your life look like? I did a lot of corporate recruiting and everything else. And I used to tell people, design your own life. And without this system and the amount of money that we can make in this by helping other people, we can't design our life. We will be living day by day. And I'm tired of that. So
I appreciate it so much. Thank you. You have such beautiful energy and such a warmth to you as well. And I would say this as well, and it doesn't matter if you're 20 years old or you're 60 years old and you join our programs, when you invest, whether it's $10,000 or $100,000, I take the investment, I take all of it very, very seriously. Okay. Behind all the smiles and stuff, when it comes to business, I am very headstrong. My team deal with it. Everyone is required to perform under pressure. I have extremely high standards. Okay. So when you get a funnel and you get your own website, Dr. Devon, if it's not perfect, rest assured, I and the team will make sure it's of the highest caliber that you guys can benefit from. Does that make sense?
Shaq, it don't have to be perfect. We just need to start. That's all.
There you go.
and
There
you're
you
gonna
go.
see us on stage with Shaq.
There you go. I love it, guys. I really appreciate it. So let's get started. I'm going to share with you today. Today's training is going to be a little bit different because what today's training is going to consist of is going to be mix of video, mix of me coming in, and mix of me doing walkthroughs. So the last few days, you guys got worksheets. By the way, how many of you have found those worksheets valuable? Like yesterday, how many of you found what I did with Abid valuable? Raise your hand, give me double high five. Mike, you grab a screenshot of this. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. Again, I'm just sharing this with you guys, okay? Because I believe in total transparency. If Abid paid me, which I charge $5,000 for 1 hour of my time. If Abid was to pay me $5,000 for 1 hour of my time, guess what I would have done with him? That same exercise that you saw, I would have taken him through that unique process. Now, obviously, I would have gone into a lot more detail. I would have covered traffic strategies and income scaling and all of this stuff. But how many of you looked at that and said, wow? Like my own wife looked at me and said, wow, today was the best day. I think Ismail turns around and he goes, today was the best day. And I was like, well, guess what? You guys stayed here. So firstly, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Secondly, this is day 5, but we are going to continue this relationship onwards. How many of you would like to have a continued relationship with us? Okay, so what I want to share with you guys is, one, some of you, if you're just joining us for the first day, listen, the replays are going to be live. We're going to keep it live for 24 hours or so, unless you're a VIP member. So please make sure that you watch all of the replays, you download the worksheets, you interact in the Facebook group. Secondly, if you are just joining us, maybe you just new, maybe you missed the first day or the second day, or this is your first day and you just joined us on day 5. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Number one thing that you have to do is, if you haven't, please go to funnels.com/audit to book a call. So Ismail, if you can drop a link to that, please, right now. So funnels.com/audit. And if you have watched us for the last 5 days and you're like, yo, I want to work with Shaqir to the next level, then go to funnels.com/VIP and you can review the offer. and all of the details are listed there, and it is expensive. We do not do cheap stuff here because I want to deliver a premium experience. Does that make sense? Okay, so when you go to Rolls-Royce or when you go and buy a fancy sports car, you have a premium experience. It's very different to when you go and buy maybe a car for a few $1,000s. Does that make sense? Okay, so for example, that's what we want to give to all of our clients. We want to give you a premium example, a premium experience from the beginning until you go. For example, Glenda's been with us for about 7-8 years. I'd like to think every time she interacts with us, we give her a premium experience, okay, in all different ways. And so I want to share that with you guys as well. Please make sure that you go to funnels.com/VIP. I will also ask and request one clear thing for all of you guys to do before we get into the training. Is that cool with you guys? You're going to follow this? Okay, so I've got a handful of links I want you guys to follow on right now, which is going to be, if you guys can see, these are going to be all of my social media links, okay? And the reason why I'm sending you guys these social media links, okay, is because this is me, really me, okay? Now, what happens is when you become successful, you start putting yourself out there, you start making lots of money, you start making noise. You guys don't need to worry about it right now, but maybe down the line, sometimes, let's just say bad actors appear. Does that make sense? And so now what's happening, what we found is some people use my face, my profile, and they will just make up a fake profile on Instagram, on Facebook, and they'll message you asking for money or to trade crypto or stuff like that. Does that make sense, you guys? Now, I will never ever talk about crypto unless you're in my inner circle, which is usually where you meet me in person and I share all my investment stuff. But I will never ask you, or hey, send me 5 Bitcoins. Okay. And please stay away from this stuff. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay. Random people messaging you. Okay. Please always keep this in mind. Okay. We will never ever do any sort of stuff like that. And so this is why I want to give you guys my direct social media accounts. Please click on this right now. Click on all of these links, LinkedIn, and then the way you can connect with me is when you join, what you do is you send me a message, okay? So when you join, you send me a message. For example, if Devon now clicks on my Instagram, Devon, follow me and then send me a message on Instagram. That way we're connected. Does that make sense? Okay. If Jenny wants to now connect with me, or click on my LinkedIn, go to my profile, add me. Okay. I'm just going to open up my LinkedIn actually right now. Judy, if you're here, could you just send me my LinkedIn logins, please? All right, let's see if I have my logins. Okay, I'm in. So for example, this is my LinkedIn profile. And I'll go over here. There you go. Kava just messaged. Hey, thank you for giving us the link. Okay. So there you go, Kava. So I'll go over here, network, and I will just accept all of you that are adding me right now. I'll just accept you guys. Okay. It's going to make some sounds. But I'll just add you guys. Okay, so that's my LinkedIn. Okay. Once you guys are connected, I need you guys to just comment and say, yes, done. And then this, I'm going to turn LinkedIn off because people are already messaging me and you want to get out as fast as possible. Okay, so click on all of my social media links and get connected. This is my YouTube channel. And it's going to pop up a link that will say, do you want to subscribe? Go ahead and you should be able to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay. So Instagram, this is my Instagram profile. Okay. So Instagram, Judy, if you can just put a link on Instagram as well, that would be great. Now, some of you have also said, I would love to work with you, but right now you're not in a place or position to invest a premium amount. That's totally fine. Definitely book a call because we will have something available for you guys, which is a low ticket program. Okay. I also understand there's a group of people here, interested in doing, you don't want to do the stuff that we've been sharing with you. That's totally fine. The key important thing is to stay in touch with our team, because the next few days we are going to share with you guys some different ways that you guys can make money. How many of you guys like the idea of that? Okay. Especially, we've been working with a system that's got over 15,000 customers that anyone can use to make an extra 50 to $100 per day. How many of you, if you could make an extra $100 per day, you don't have to talk to people, you don't have to do funnels, you don't have to have even social media, you don't even have to have Facebook or anything. How many of you would like that? Just raise your hand. Okay, Ismail, if you can just make a note of them. Raise your hand. Okay, so we'll share that with you guys just because we know, hey, listen, not everyone's going to be qualified for this. So this is my personal Instagram profile. I think you guys can see it. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, I was showing off some coin collection. Okay, that's weird. That's not weird, but anyone else into coin collecting? Now, is that just me? Hey, let me share with you guys. This is a fun random fact. Okay, you guys ready for this? Okay, so I truly believe that your beliefs will shape your behaviors that will shape your results in life. Yes or yes? So right now, if you look at the results in your life and you're like, you know what, I don't like that. Okay, then you want to change the behaviors. And the way you change your behaviors is you change your beliefs. So ever since I was probably 12, 13 years old, my dad used to take me to this place called Sunday Market in Brick Lane, okay, in East London. And he introduced me to this concept of collecting coins. So I just want to share with you guys something right now, okay? As you guys are following me on social media, check this out.
Guy, and now I'm 34. So gosh, this is like 20 years of collecting, and these are some of the most rarest coins. And I really did this because I was just curious as a kid. Okay, I was just curious, just like I was collecting domain names. I was collecting these things, and check this out.
Wow. Okay, so some of those coins, I don't know if you guys just saw, some of those coins, they're 50 cents, right? But because they're rare, they're now worth $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I think this one's worth like 20K. This one, someone's selling it for 40,000 pounds, okay, which is like $45,000. And what's crazy is I was just collecting this because I was curious as a kid. Okay, so for example, I have this £1 coin. So £1 for Americans or Canadians, it's basically $1, right? So I have this, and just check the same coin basically on eBay. It says it got sold for £4,000. That's nearly $5,000. Okay, so what's a lesson here that you guys can have? I'm curious. What's a lesson that you guys can have? Write it in the chat box. What did you just get from that? Curious, collect, cool. Okay. What else? Think about it. It's if you never take action, you stay the same. Are you guys with me? Okay, I meet people and they'll bump into me, and then 5 years later, I'll bump into them again. Guess what happens? They're still the same. You don't want to be like that. And so follow me on social. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 4 different methodologies on making money. And I'm going to just draw this out. Is that okay with you guys? Yeah. And this one, in full transparency, this is a video that I did, which I'm going to play the masterclass video for you guys. Is that cool? So I'm going to be here. So if there's any lagging issues, my team will be here. Okay, cool. So a lot of you guys subscribed. Okay, so we got some take action, it will pay off. That's what Chad says. Jenny says, follow your desire, it will work out. Patricia says, you go with your instinct. Abid says, take action. Gareth says, there's always more than one way to flip a coin. Absolutely. Okay, investing in yourself pays off later. Be curious and consistent. I love you guys. Okay, so let's get cracking on. Mikey, how am I doing on this one? So I would go to, okay, there you go. Okay, guys, so I'm going to play the video and you guys are going to love this. And Rahini has taken it. So give her a big round of applause, guys. Is that cool or what? All right, so we talked about the mini VSL call funnel. Okay, so I'm going to walk you guys through the different funnels that we've used in our business. Okay, so first one is the mini VSL funnel. VSL mini webinar funnel. Okay. Now, what the VSL mini webinar funnel is essentially when people come in, they opt in, they get a free guide or they get a free report, free ebook, free something that they get for free. Now, why do we give them something for free? Because we want to build trust and authority. Okay, I'll tell you this right now. Most business owners that we speak to, they have no authority. And you can be just like Rohini. She said to me, hey, just so you know, she doesn't want to be like a social media guru. Okay, so I already know the funnel that I'm gonna build for her and the marketing plan I'm gonna give to her, the automation that she's gonna get. So she doesn't have to be on social media all day long. You guys with me so far? Okay, there's this myth. Okay, like I said on the first day, guys, I don't even post on my Instagram. Anytime I post, okay, you know, my assistant Judy, she'll message me and be like, you know, this formatting is wrong. You know, you don't know how to post on Instagram or something like that. And so I never ever post on my own Instagram. Okay, if you see my TikTok, I'm pretty sure there's like 100 videos. So I have a system where my team member will come in, he will slice up my YouTube videos, and then he'll publish it online. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? So that means what I can do is focus on one thing, which is my genius zone, okay? And too many of you here right now, what you do is you focus on everything but your genius zone. Imagine in your business, you did nothing except for the things that made you money, the things that made you fulfilled and helped your clients. Okay, now some people are like, yeah, but you know, doing digital marketing and all of this stuff is not my passion. You know, I always tell people, and this is not advice that people want to hear. It's like, you know, going to the gym. Everyone knows you should work out. Everyone knows you should go to the gym. But if you tell someone, hey, you really need to go to the gym, no one really likes hearing that advice. Okay, so no one really likes hearing. Okay, but if they, so for me anyway, I needed to hear the advice. And then I realized, even if I join the gym, okay, how many of you have ever, so I don't want to feel alone, how many of you have ever joined a gym or a dance class or a boxing class or something, and then you just never show up? Okay, I have paid endless programs, whatever, and what I found is this concept called inevitability thinking. So I want you guys to keep this in mind. Imagine you are here right now. You're here
you're here. Okay, you want to get to this goal of yours, go. Here, there is multiple steps to achieving your goal. Okay, now what most people try to do is they try to do one thing by themselves here, and they'll go through the journey and then they fall off, then they try something else, then they go again, then they try something else, they go again, they try something else, they go again, they try something else, they fall, they stop, blah, blah, blah. And then now all of this just takes up years and years and years. Suddenly, 5, 10, 20 years later, guess what happens? They're doing the same thing with no growth. How many of you have experienced that before? Okay, and I say this with love, but I also say this with tough love. The reason is, in my early 20s, I was very fortunate to become a speaker. You know, one of those speakers that sells on stage. So I used to do that when I was like 21 to maybe 23, 24. Then I realized, okay, I'm speaking on stage with a bunch of other speakers that don't really have an online business. All they do is speak and sell. I'm like, these guys are just clowns. I don't want to be a clown. So what I did was I set up my own live events company, doing in-person events. We did over 100 events, impacted a lot of people, blah, blah, blah. During this time, I had the good fortune of meeting people that were usually they were in the late 30s, they were in the 40s, they were in the 50s, and some of them were in their 60s. And the number one thing that they basically, there's so many things that they said. The first thing they always was like, how on earth did you do all of this at such a young age? Okay, they would immediately say something nice like that to me, and then they would immediately shut themselves down by saying, hey, I did this for 10, 20, 30 years, and these are the results I got. Does this make sense, everyone? Is this making sense? So it's like, maybe they were a teacher, or they had a business, or they had a small business, or they tried like one thing, and that they've just been stuck in it. And I remember this gentleman called Bob. He was like one of the nicest guys. Okay, he was Canadian, so Canadian people are nice in general. So he was like, nice, and then he was like super, super nice. And he always like 18-year-old son to me. Okay, this is what usually they do. They bring the sons and they want me to mentor the sons and mentor them. And so Bob tells me, he goes, he used to work for Ford for 35 years. Okay, that's 3 decades. That's like older than me. Okay, and he said basically when he left, he realized that he was just a cog in the machine. Okay, he was just a cog in the machine.
How many of you feel like that?
When you come out of something and you get some sort of mentor, some sort of system in place that gives you a fast track, then can you realize, okay, the journey that you're on. It's the same thing. People that, have been in abuse. I used to know this girl. She was in an abusive relationship, and I used to know her very, very well. She basically worked for me. She worked for me for about 5, 6 years. She was my personal assistant. Then she became my executive assistant. Then she did my events and blah, blah, blah. Probably after like 6, 7 years, so 5 years she worked for me. 2, 3 years later, so about 6, 7, 8 years later, I find out that she was in this crazy abusive relationship. And I was like, oh, I thought you had a really good, relationship with your partner, and they had a bunch of kids and whatever. And she herself didn't know that she was married to a narcissistic, abusive man. Does this make sense, everyone? But when she left, then she could look back and connect the dots. There's this famous saying, like, Steve Jobs said, I can't remember it now, but it's like, to go forward, you need to look back and then connect the dots. Anyone heard of that one before? Okay, so why is this funnel? I would say, okay, not for everyone, but I would say for about 80% of you who are stuck making less than $30,000 per month, okay? If you're making less than $30,000 per month, it means that you have inconsistent lead flow, inconsistent clients, usually charging low ticket for your products and services, and you don't have what's called a VSL funnel. So I'll give you an example, another example to try. Is this making sense? Everyone raise your hand if it's making sense. I need you to know we're on the right page. Okay, so I got a guy, Tony.
Now, this guy used to do in-person work, okay, in-person meetings. So he was basically, he used to help footballers and celebrities and athletes with financial services and financial planning, okay? So one of my friends who's way, way wealthier than me, he sends me a message, says, you need to go speak to this guy, okay? How many of you have ever been to London? London, anyone? London? So I go to Tower Bridge, I meet this guy. I look at him, he's got a fancy Mont Blanc pen, a nice little briefcase, wearing like a three-piece suit. And I show up with a hoodie, okay? And then it's like, this is not a match, all right? So he had, just before I met, he had reviewed all my accounts, you know, my personal finances and all that good stuff. And he couldn't believe how I make money looking like this, working from home. And I couldn't believe his business model, meeting people in person, when in today's day and age, we can do online marketing and have massive leverage, sell coaching, consulting, courses, and really be able to scale ourselves. So we're not working in the business, we're working outside the business. Does this make sense? Write this down. If you work in your business, your time and your income is limited, okay? Now, I work in my business when there's a high paying client. Someone gives me 50K to 100 grand, I'm okay to work in the business. Does that make sense? It's okay to work in the business. However, you want to also be working on the business. So I'm speaking to this gentleman and he asked me a bunch of questions like, hey man, how do you make hundreds of thousands of pounds a month, blah, 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 all that good stuff, okay? And I turned around and I said, okay, you asking me all these questions, let me start asking you some questions. So I asked him, hey, can I ask you, how long you've been doing this business? He goes, 30 years, okay, 30 years or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is like before I was born, you were doing this business. So he's been doing the same business for 30 years. Guys, this was his business model. And I want you guys to understand this, okay? 30 years, okay? So he was in the services-based business. The service-based business is a one-on-one. What that means is he trades his time for money. He trades time for money, okay? So we do not like this. Why? Because if you trade time for money, is there an asset that gets created? Yes or no? No. No, there is no asset. It's like poor people thinking, okay? Poor people thinking is I make money and then I go and spend it, okay? When I make money, the first thing I say to myself, and by the way, this is the number one thing that will determine, Ismail, you gotta listen to this as well. The number one thing that will determine, you are here, young kids, and you guys as well, okay? Number one thing that will determine how much wealth you create in your life. As soon as new money comes into your life, what do you do with it? What needs to happen is that money now needs to be invested either in yourself, in your business, to create an asset. That asset produces cash flow, passive income, and then you spend from that passive income. Does that make sense? And again, I'm not judging anyone because I made every single mistake under the sun, okay? But I'm just telling you, I would know people that would make 6 figures, you know, few hundred grand a year, and they'd be flying first class, business class, whatever. And I would think to myself, like, you make this much money, why are you always lavishly spending? I got on my first business class, business class. I think I was coming back from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur to London, after I had made $10 million. Okay, I bought my first ever Range Rover when I had 1 million in the bank. I think that was like 1 million pounds. And my dad asked me, son, are you sure you can afford this? And I said, Dad, don't worry. I've got £1 million in the bank sitting there. Okay. What was I doing with the rest of my money? I was investing it in assets. So here's the downside of when you do services. Now, in the beginning, it's fine, but this is what the guy was doing. He was trading time for money. Number two, there was no assets created. Okay, this was his business model. Okay, you guys ready and the reason why I'm showing you this is because you can identify this and then say, I don't want to do that. Okay, so his business model was he was doing financial services. Okay, now on the front, he was making a lot of money, okay, and very good money. So he's making about 200K to 300 grand per year. Now, this is what would happen. He would have trickles, okay, trickles. This is what trickles looks like. trickles of leads coming to him. They would go to his website, which looks like it's from the 1990s website. Okay, then they would request a phone call with him. He would get the phone call, and then he would drive. Okay, how do you draw a car? This is mine, as good as mine. This how you should, whatever. Okay, you can't be good at everything, okay? That's the picture of a car. What is that? Okay, that's the picture of a car, okay? And he was for 4 weeks, okay? He would take his car and he would drive up and down the country, all over the UK. And I think he had something like maybe a few 100,000 miles on the clock, okay? So he would be driving up and down the country, and then he would meet one-on-one with his prospects. Is everyone following this? Okay. By the way, this is how typical businesses work. But don't be typical. If you want to make above typical money, then don't be typical. And if no one else has shown you this, I'm showing it to you. So he would then do his pitch. Okay, he had this basically a pitch, and he would close 1 in 4. So he would close 25% of people. Okay, so 1 in 4. And I think his prices were like maybe 3 to 4K, and then it would go up and whatever. So I look at that and I'm like, do you meet people one-on-one? And he's like yeah, because he has to like explain, and he gets his notepad out, and then he explains how the financial services work. And sometimes if you go to a fancy hotel like Four Seasons or the Dorchester or whatever, any nice hotel, in the lobby, you're going to see all these guys dressed up in suits, and they usually have someone there that they're trying to pitch. How many have you ever seen anyone like that? Yeah, you see, you know what I mean? They're usually with someone a little bit more senior, and they're trying to pitch this retirement planning scheme or whatever, okay? It's funny because now I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what my guy used to do. Here's what really shocked me. And I thought to myself, okay, man, this is cool. Until I asked him, how long have you been doing it for? And he goes to me basically 30 years, okay? Give or take a few years. I'm pretty sure it was 30 years. And all I said to him was something along the lines of, do you know what a funnel is? Because if you have a funnel, you don't need to talk to anyone. You can now get people coming to you. And he's like, no, I don't know. I said, okay, cool. Come to one of my live events. I want to teach you about funnels. He comes to my 3-day live event, 3-day event in London. So, every now and then I do these 3-day live events. At the 3-day live event, he likes what he sees, wires me 100 grand. Okay? 100 grand. I mentor him, I mastermind with him, and I give him some funnels and some ideas on how to scale his business without him. Is everyone on the same page? Is everyone getting this so far? Okay, all right. He then takes all of this information, okay, info. Some of you, by the way, you're stuck in information overwhelm. How many of you are stuck in information overwhelm? Okay, what you need is information doesn't make you money, okay? If I just read, all of these books, but there's a whole bunch of books here, okay? Probably like 500 or 600 books. If I just read the books, I would be information overwhelmed. What you need to be is in implementation overwhelmed, okay? Implementation. This is when the money comes in, when you implement something, okay? Just learning alone is not enough. You have to implement. So, pays me 100 grand, masterminds with me, gets access to some funnels, okay? So funnels is essentially, some of you are new, this automated client acquisition process, okay? He now puts himself on LinkedIn, okay? By the way, some of you, your best clients are on LinkedIn. Some of you, if you're selling some sort of weight loss product, pill, potion, whatever, your best clients are going to be on something like TikTok and Instagram. Why? Because it's visually appealing. Does that make sense? The traffic, and write this down, not all traffic source is equal. I know
when someone comes in through a recommendation, when someone comes in, so like for example, Rahini, she came in through essentially a search ad, but also a recommendation because of how I structured my funnel, right? Because she saw, she read Russell Brunson's books. She was like, okay, I need to find the best funnels guy. Let me go get, look for a funnels builder. She saw my ad. She knew it was an ad. You guys see where I'm going with this? Okay. She knew it was a paid ad because it says paid ads, right? Sponsored ad. She clicks on it. She books a call. Now she's become a 100K client. So this guy, what he does is he comes along and he's like, okay, he's not going to do Facebook and Instagram. He'll do LinkedIn. Now, because of the way his offer gets structured, by the way, I'm going to teach you guys this. This is advanced stuff, okay? Can't teach it to you right now, but the way you structure your offer, write this down. How you structure your offer. So it becomes, people feel stupid if they say no to it. Okay, no one wants to feel stupid, right? So how you structure your offer in an irresistible manner. But he does this. Remember, I shared with you guys, offer is one part. He gets done for you funnels, okay, because he's in his 50s, he has no time, energy to do techie stuff, automation, blah, blah, blah. So, funnels, okay, offer funnels, and then his traffic was from LinkedIn. Traffic, LinkedIn. And then the last one was sales. Okay, now you can do sales yourself. You can outsource the sales. Okay, but these are the 4 components. How many guys? 4 components. The sales system, the traffic system, the funnel system, the offer. Okay, 4 steps. This is what happens. Okay, so this is what happened. This is before. Before. Okay, by the way, your business and your marketing, write this down. Every single thing that you do in your business and marketing needs to come in 3 stages. How many stages? 3. Before, during, and after. The people that make, say, under 15,000, say under 20,000 dollars a month, versus the people that make 200,000 dollars a month, they have identified before, during, and after component. Okay, so you have to learn what happens before. So here, this was the before section. Before, okay. The during section was this part, during, okay. This is what happens during when we work together. And then the after section, okay, so after, this was the after section. I'm going to show you what happened in the after section. The after section was automated funnels. It goes viral on LinkedIn, so people start sharing his stuff. Now his calendar gets booked up with high ticket phone calls. Phone calls get booked. He goes from, I never forget this, right? Because he says to me, I went from being the hunter to the hunted. Okay. He used to close 25%, 1 out of every 4 people, AKA 3 people would waste his time. How many of you have ever done business where you just like at the end, you're like, man, I don't want to do business with this person. It's just become a time waster. Sure, even if you're the most positive person in the world, because sometimes I like to be the most positive person in the world, you're still like, oh my gosh, I just wasted my time. Yes or no? And by the way, time, it doesn't matter what age you are. Usually after 30 years old, you realize, oh my God, I need to be very protective of my time. Okay, so guess what? By the way, he was doing this for 30 years. Okay. Now in his mind, he was like, he's successful, right? Because his friends and family is like, no, he's the man. He's got a house. I think he was driving a Range Rover, got a couple of kids. Like he's the man. He dresses well, eats well, looks well, super fit, goes to the gym. But when I look at this, and I'm like, 25%, 1 out of every 4. So what the heck are you doing? And by the way, remember, this is not online, okay? Online, every day, I get rejected by what? 20,000 people. I don't care. I'm only looking for 200 leads. Do you guys see the difference? Okay? When you have an online business, the way I help you structure it, you can reach masses, thousands of people every single day. And then using the funnel, you can qualify them to the point where it's only a handful of people that you end up working with, that you end up talking to, that you end up doing business with. But you see, when you do that, what tends to happen is now you have freedom in your business. Now you don't struggle and you don't stay stuck in terms of, oh, I need to deal with every single person. Why? Because now you're qualifying only the top leads. Does this make sense, everyone? Raise your hand if it's making sense. Okay, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail into this in just a second. But here's what happens. He goes from this to this. His close rates go to 75%. So out of 3 to 4. Okay, so he starts closing 3 out of every 4 prospects. Now, for 30 years, he's been driving up and down the country. Guess what he does? He stops driving. You know how I know this? Because I called him up expecting him just to jump in his car. And he lives like maybe 1.5 hours away from me, like somewhere in Kent. Okay, I was expecting him to just jump in his car and come and see me. And he tells me, no, Shaq, you remember what you told me? I don't go to see my clients anymore. They need to come to me. And I was like, but it's me. He's like, no, Shaq, you told me, don't go and see the clients, get them to come to you. So, hey, Shaq, you and your family members, you need to come up to me. And I remember like being so sucky. I'm like, I can't believe it. How many of you guys think that was powerful? It's like for 30 years, he's been doing the same thing. And then boom, one conversation, okay? One conversation he has with me, the same conversation that you guys can have with my team members, even with myself. One breakthrough. He gets that breakthrough, and now he ain't driving no more. Okay? He ain't driving no more. No more driving. Okay, no more driving. Finito. Okay, now what is he doing? Now, because he has a system, what's the word, guys? He has a system. Okay, he has a system. He's now got his 21-year-old son. I think he's 21 or maybe 22. He's early, young 20s, the kid is, okay? His son now runs the entire business. Is this powerful? Is anyone getting aha from this? If you are, I can't see your faces, so just go in and type in aha. I want to see you guys. Go type in aha. So, system, 21 years old. Here's the process. I want to show you guys the process. Okay, how many of you guys want to know the process? Here's the process. Raise your hand if you want to know the process. Okay. Yesterday, remember I talked about the 5 P's. One of them was people, packaging, pricing. One of them was process. Process. Okay. And I have fancy slides and presentation, but I thought, you know what? I already know this off by heart, so I'm just going to give it to you guys over here. Okay. So remember, first thing first, we identify who is our perfect client. Who is the perfect client for us? Okay. So in my case, I shared with you guys, it's someone who's 40 years ish plus. Okay. They need to have access to X amount of money. Why? Because we want to make sure that we can provide them a premium solution. So at least 10K plus, okay? If someone says, hey, we don't have 10K, then every now and then, if they speak to my team, then we'll offer payment plans, okay? Where people can get started for, let's just say, $2,500, okay? Most of the time, we wouldn't offer this. When we do something like a challenge, we would. Does this make sense? Okay, the reason why is because this is what's called a promotional campaign. So this 5-day challenge is a promotional campaign. 5-day challenge, a 5-day SFC, Sales Funnels Challenge. Promotional campaigns are something, it's basically a promotion. Doesn't happen all the time. I don't get on camera and I don't, present like this basically every single month or every single week. I do it maybe once. Like last time I did it properly, it was 2 years ago, okay? This time I'm doing it, and I'm like, I'm not doing this ever again. Okay, I say that, and then people complain. Shaq, come and give us some value. So I basically throw up a campaign, and I do. Okay, so 5-day sales. What I like to do, and what we teach our clients to do in the beginning, especially when you're making under 50 grand a month, is you need to build an evergreen business. That means the business needs to get you clients and leads 24/7 without you being chained to begging for prospects. Is this making sense, everyone? Give me, just type in yes if it's making sense. Please quickly type in yes so I can move forward. Okay, now what happens is, okay, this is our first step. We identify who do we want to target, who do we want to talk to, who do we want to serve. Okay, so for example, I shared with you who we want to serve. Okay, most of my clients are Americans, Canadians, New Zealand, UK, Saudi Arabia. Okay, number two, what is it that you're selling? Okay, so what is it that you're selling? So what is your offer? And remember, the mistake people make, what's a big mistake people make? They stick with just one thing. Okay, they stick with just one offer. I think on the first or second day of the challenge, we were speaking to Wahida. I don't know if Wahida's on here today, but we were talking and she said she's just focused on one offer and it's £1,000. And although she's getting results, how many of you believe she's leaving so much money on the table? Okay, because guess what? For example, Rohini, when she came on, she literally said these words to me. Okay, hopefully it's right. Ismail was next to me. She said, if you offered me something for $5,000, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have taken you seriously. Do you guys get that? Okay, give me a thumbs up if you got that. When I spoke to George, he said something similar. Look, I'm done. I've tried so many different things, and I've just spent 6 years and I need someone who's going to hold me accountable. So what is it that you're selling? And what we talk about is a value ladder. Okay, so front end, middle, back end. 3 different price points, 3 different price points. Okay, now, as you guys know, I'm using a real life case study. Okay, how many of you guys would like to see this campaign? On average, it's putting in about $2,000 a day, okay, because it did what, 21K? Okay, they all want to see it. Okay, just so you know, those of you who don't have a highly optimized website funnel, not just a website, I'm talking about a funnels website, we will build you one of these ourselves. Okay, how many of you guys would love for me and my team to build you a full money-making website funnel, a funnels website, just by show of hands? Okay, because this is like one part of the battle. So if you see here, people come in, okay, this is a proven campaign. Okay, scroll down, it's got some value, write this down. Each funnel needs to have a value that's given away. Okay, so what is it? So for example, let's just pick on Brother Mahmoud. Mahmoud, Assalamualaikum, brother. Okay, good to see you here. Okay, let's just say Mahmoud is here, yeah? Now Mahmoud is coming, he's got a business, he's got an idea. Let's just say he's selling mobile phones, okay? And he's now saying, I need to get more people coming into my business. And he's heard of this thing called TikTok. Kids are using it, grown adults are using it, but he's kind of confused. So he comes onto this website and in his mind, he's thinking, okay, just tell me what is TikToks? What is TikTok? What is a TikTok ad? And now he just clicks on one button and boom, it says a little, so to speak, an ad, a post. What is TikTok ads? Are you guys seeing this? Now Mahmoud is reading this and he's nodding and saying, I need this. Facebook sucks. E-commerce is dead. My advertising costs are going up. Okay, what is this? I need a blue ocean strategy. Type this in, guys. Not even type this in. Write this out for yourself in your notepad. You need a blue ocean strategy. Okay, when you decide to enroll and you start working with us, I will personally help you craft your own blue ocean strategy. What's a blue ocean strategy? It's a place where you are the only one. Does this make sense, everybody? Listen, there's people that will charge you $100 to build a funnel. There's people that will charge you $20,000 to build a funnel. Then there's me that will charge you $50,000 to $100,000 to build a funnel. Are you guys with me? Okay, by the way, Russell Bronson, he charges $500,000. I think $500,000, and he wants about 50% of your entire business. How many of you people think that's crazy? But is it crazy good or is it crazy bad? It's crazy good.
Because guess what? There's so many corporate companies, so many Silicon Valley companies that are well funded, they can afford to cut 500K for a funnel like that. So when we do this, okay, I will help you craft a blue ocean strategy, just like how I helped Ismail do this, right? Ismail is blue ocean strategy. Okay, so Mahmoud comes along and he's like, okay, what is this? TikTok is a real blue ocean. Bang, he's now reading more about us. Bang. And then this is another important thing, okay? You have to show people if they try to do things on their own, what is the cost? Write this down. It's called an ROI justification, okay? And you can show me any business and I will tell you, Mahmoud, and everyone else how to do an ROI justification. So for example, in my business, okay, if you wanted a funnel, you need to know how to write copy. You know, copy sometimes you can spend $500, you can spend $5,000, you can spend $50,000 on copy. Okay, I have paid personally one of my copywriters over $50,000 cash to write copy for me. This funnel over here, I can go on and on actually about these funnels, but this funnel, Chic Mastermind, okay, this one I used to do a group program. Okay, now if you buy this, you get basically one-on-one access to it. Okay, now this original sales letter was written by one of my best friends, a brother from Somalia. Okay, he lives in America, actually now he lives in Dubai, but he wrote this entire letter, and I just want to scroll down for just a few minutes, if that's okay. Okay, scrolling. It sends an offer from $30,000 to $100,000 to $250,000. And I can scroll down. By the way, this is one of my clients, okay? Many years ago, he paid me over $100,000. He paid me about $175,000, okay? Today, right today, I just saw him post on his Facebook. He won the $25 million award. I straight away looked at Ismail and I said, yeah, what does that mean? You need to get on it. Okay, you need to go from making $2,000 a day to $20,000 a day. All right, so this is, and by the way, some of you guys are Americans. How many of you from America? Okay, most people, you know what Inc. 5000 is? Okay, so he just got featured on Inc. 5000 as well, one of the fastest growing company in America. Okay, so not just these awards, but this award as well. Scroll down. Obviously, I got testimony from Master Bunsen, proof of payment, blah, blah, blah. Guys, this funnel and this offer, okay?
Could everybody mute their lines that's talking, please, besides Shaq?
$8 million cash. Okay, write this down. $40,000 times 200-ish people. Okay, 200. That's $8 million. Okay, and by the way, this is the program. You guys see this? Okay, this is the program, and I call it the 8-figure CEO accelerator. Okay, so this is like for people that really want to like fast track themselves. Okay, so going back to TTA, TikTok's agency. Over here, what I'm doing is I'm doing an ROI justification. If you were to do this yourself, it would cost you this much money. For example, if you were selling any sort of program, so I'll just walk you through this actually, it's much easier. People that are interested in TikTok agency, there's 4, 5, 6, 7 things you need to know. You need to know about creators, creating, you need to know that ideas take time, you need to know about scripts, you need to know recording, ads, reporting, analyzing. Okay, so now
There is a lot of overtalk going on. Somebody needs to mute their mic.
It's going to take me 7, 14, 15, 23, 26, 29, 36 hours. I don't have 36 hours. Are you kidding me? Let me just hire this agency. Does this make sense? Who's got a business here? Just show of hands. Say, for example, Wahida. Okay, in your funnel, you can have, hey, if you're a CEO,
Can't hear Shaq.
Now we can't hear the video that Shaq is playing.
Probably thinking to himself, who is this guy? What does he know? Showing off his awards, talks too much, he smiles too much. Let me see if he's got the goods. He's gonna sell me something. Of course, I'm gonna sell you something, okay? Because I want to help you, okay? Now, this is what he's thinking. Now watch this. I pull up strategic coach. How many of you guys remember when I pulled this out? And what did I say? I said, guys, there's this 75-year-old man who I paid $35,000. And he's going to teach me how to use my mind. And I didn't tell my dad $1 billion a year. You guys see the difference? What is it? Someone understands sales, marketing, funnels, offers, $50,000 a month. So for example, Mahmoud comes along and he's read all of this stuff. And then he sees, oh my gosh, my business has to make $50,000 a month before I even book a call with this guy. If you are making 50 grand a month, you look at this and be like, okay, I'm in. But if you're not, you're like, okay, I'm not doing 50 grand a month, I'm out. Does that make sense? But here's the key thing, guys, and I want you to get this, okay? But what did Mahmoud do? He read the whole page, yes or no? And write this down, EBM. This is one of the secrets to selling anything. This is how I can sell anything. I don't care if it's $7 or $70,000 or $700,000. Because I understand EBM. What does EBM stand for? Education-based marketing. Okay? When you educate somebody, you build trust. So for example, Mahmoud's coming into this website. He's like, man, I need some TikTok ads. Now, he doesn't even know why he needs TikTok ads, but we've just educated him on why he needs it. Okay? Education-based marketing. Now he comes down and he's like, okay, I'm not doing 50 grand a month. Maybe he's doing 30K a month. What do you think, and who do you think he remembers when he hits 50 grand a month? It's like TikToksagency.com. That's where I need to go. So in your marketing, this is a big thing that we want to do. Okay, how we do this is we add it into our funnels. So scroll down. By the way, how many of you guys are enjoying this master plan checklist? Okay, all right. So we go back and we talked about who is your perfect prospect? What is that you're offering? Okay. And 3, in your funnels, we need to have why should people do business with you? Every single thing that we like what I showed you, Ismail is following a specific copy formula. And this copy formula is, again, this is what bought $21,000 in 10 days. Now he has a system called a free traffic system, okay? $1,000 a month. How many of you could spend $1,000 a month to generate $20,000 a month? By the way, so sometimes you might be like, yeah, but I don't want to do paid traffic. That's fine. Do the free traffic system. Use Ismail's free traffic system, okay? By the way, this free traffic system works for any business. Doesn't matter what niche you're in, and doesn't matter who you're targeting. It works. Okay, it doesn't matter what you're selling and who you're targeting. It works. Because once you have the right funnel, then you can use the free traffic system and you can go over there. Okay. Now, when our clients, so some of you that are going to be working with me here, okay, I'm not sure exactly the number, but again, like I said, we're going to select 30 people only. Okay. So those 30 people, we are going to help you make your first 100K to 150 grand cash, okay, through the free traffic system, okay? The free traffic system allows you to jumpstart your cash flow, get a whole bunch of cash in the bank, so then you can use some of that into paid traffic. Does this make sense? Okay, so now watch this, okay? So for example, start working with us, and again, you work with us one way. Work with us. You have to apply. Okay. You have to apply. You have to get on a phone call. Just make sure that you mention the thing.
that you're gonna do what we say, okay? That you're not looking for a get rich quick program. You're gonna actually follow through, okay? So, what's the link to work? funnels.com/VIP. Drop a link in there, save that link. Those of you who are new here, I saw a whole bunch of people today join today. Okay, thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time, make sure you go to funnels.com/VIP and book a phone call. Okay, if we believe that you can make anywhere from an extra, whatever you're doing, an extra 10,000, 30,000, $100,000 a month, and we believe in you, then we're going to offer you our services. But other than that, you're still going to get value. Make sure you go to funnels.com/VIP. Okay. By the way, has anyone noticed here that I am very direct and very open with how you can work with me, and I'm very happy to offer you my services? Yes or no? Okay. A lot of the times people are so afraid of offering their services. How you get over that is you must make sure that you have a great product. Write this down, a great product that gets people results. Okay. You need to have some testimonials. I recommend minimum 3 testimonials. Okay. And by the way, if you're brand new and you're like, Shaq, I don't have any testimonials, don't worry. We're gonna show you how to get testimonials and case studies, even if even if you have no testimonials. Okay, even if you have no business, I'm gonna show you how to go and get your first testimonials. Another thing that you need is a unique offer. Okay, and then the last one, which is one of the most important ones, is how you position your offer. Okay, so these 4 ingredients. How many? 4. 4 ingredients. Why is this key? Okay, positioning your offer. What that means is the authority that you have, the brand, okay, based on your experience and expertise. Okay, and here's what I want you to remember. Every single thing that's happened in your life, good or bad, and trust me, this is such a breakthrough if you get this, okay? Every single thing, good or bad in your life, can be turned into an asset. Every single thing, okay? Think about it. More than probably once, I've mentioned I grew up in a council flat, government housing projects or whatever, okay? Americans call it projects. In the UK, we call it council flats, okay? Well, I talk about this. When I was growing up in the council flat, it wasn't nice. But as I got older, I realized, wow, if I just told people, hey guys, I made $30 million before I turned 30 years old. Immediately, Mahmoud, your brain shuts off. Okay? You're like, because you already start judging me. Okay? But I put in a story, hey, listen, I started off, my parents told me go to school, college, university. I dropped out of university my final year. I came across this internet marketing thing. I tried it, I failed. And then I had some success. Success got to my head. And then I lost all my money. And then I started again. And then I made my first 7 figures. Then I made my first 10 million. And then I used it as a system. Does this make sense? That's the story. So how you position it in your offer is you have a compelling story. How many of you are fans of Tony Robbins? Okay, a handful of you guys, okay? How many of you know of Tony Robbins? How many of you know at least one story that Tony Robbins has said 101 times? Okay, there's one story that you know, okay? Why? Because that's part of him positioning himself. Another thing that you have to understand is timing, okay? How do you position your timing, your offer during timing? So for example, Wahida, I haven't checked your funds out, but let's just say if I was in the panic anxiety niche and I wanted to come up with a premium program that I could charge a lot, I could deliver really well. I'm happy because, the people are buying stuff, then they're buying courses. If you don't have a course, then you're easily missing out on course revenue, because I've hired a consultant, not for panic attacks and stuff, but for another personal issue. And as soon as I paid her, I can't remember her name, Dr. something, I paid her, I can't remember how much it was, maybe $250 or $400 an hour. So as soon as I paid her, literally on the phone call, she offered me her program. She's like, oh, by the way, this hour was great. Would you like to learn more? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, we have a 6-module course. And I'm like, okay, I don't have time for that. Okay, but she offered it to me, right?
And then her assistant messaged me and she's like, doctor is really busy right now. And so she's not doing much more one-on-one consulting or whatever. But if you'd like to, this is the course. And I was like, that's a nice way to upsell. So timing, okay? Imagine I'm giving all of you an example here. Let's just say I was in this niche, anxiety and panic. I would change some of the angles on my funnels and I'd say, hey, now that we're in a recession, CEOs need to protect their number one asset. It's not their business. It's not their time. It's not anything. It's not their crypto. It's not their stocks. What is it? It's their confidence. How do you protect your confidence? By making sure that you yourself take care of you. 95% of CEOs struggle with panic attacks, anxiety, staying up late nights, drinking too much coffee. I've developed a 5-step solution called XYZ framework. I've put together a free video that shows you the mistakes people make. Check it out, opt in. How's that for some copy? How they opt in and says, hey, congratulations. You might be a CEO that's so ambitious that your husband, your wife, your friends and family don't really understand you. But I was in your position too. And I've worked, maybe you've been doing panic attack coaching for 2 years. Maybe you've done it for 10 years. Maybe you've done it since you were a little kid and you just have this innate gift inside of you that you could help people reduce their anxiety. You could say, okay, for the last 20 years, this is what I've mastered. And again, you can talk about, 5 big mistakes what people make. Now, by the way, I'm not in your niche, so I'm just spitting here. Okay, is that okay with you guys? Okay, and I can say, hey, mistake number 1, when people get stressed and they panic and then they overeat. Okay, when they feel alone, then they end up doing bad things on gambling websites, porn websites, whatever. Okay, number 3, they take up unhealthy habits like smoking, and these days they start vaping. And by the way, I know this because when I'm walking around, where I live and stuff, there's lots of people that have, 9-to-5 corporate jobs, and they're either smoking cigarettes or they're vaping, or one or the other, right? And so it's like, that's the 3rd one. Number 4 is, hey, if you don't take care of this, you're going to have marital problems. You're not going to spend much time with your kids, blah, blah, blah. And number 5, which most CEOs will value, which isn't right or wrong or whatever, but their business, your business is going to suffer. Hey, these are the 5 big mistakes that people make, and it's costly. How would you like to eliminate all of them in under 60 minutes? I'm hosting a free session. I'm doing blah, blah, blah. Now you get them to apply based on where they're at. You customize an offer for them. How many of you thought that was powerful? Okay, anyone else? Yeah, give me a thumbs up for all of you that don't have your video on. Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense. Okay, I know if you do even 10% of what I'm talking about here, the business can get to the next level. Okay, so this is the plan. Okay, we're going to identify the process. Who, what are the funnels that you need? Okay, inside of the funnels, we want to make it very clear. Okay, the call to action, how to work with us. And on this, you want to lead with a great product that's results focused, testimonials, unique offer, positioning offer. If you're starting from scratch and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have a great product. I have no idea what is a great product. I have no testimonials. I certainly don't have a unique offer that gets people to buy right now. Okay, and I certainly don't know anything about positioning. I just give you a little crash course. Okay, these are the things that we will cover with you in detail. And because I love this program and I've spent 2.5-ish years building this program up, I want you to make sure that you read about it at funnels.com/VIP. Okay, we are going to be enrolling clients today, tomorrow, and the next few days. But most importantly, again, we're going to be taking 30 people. I think there's like now 17-ish, 17 or 14 spots, something like that. It's under 20 spots. Okay, so book a call and make sure you get this. Okay, next. 5. Now that we have access to all of this stuff, 2 metrics. How many metrics? 2 things. Okay, what is your cost per acquisition? Cost per acquisition, and what is your lifetime value? Okay, LTV stands for lifetime value, and like with anything, okay, it is very important that I go through
a story with you to drive this point home. Okay, so I'm 21 years old. I go to New York, broke as a joke, could barely afford the ticket, somehow managed to kind of talk my way into this event. Everyone's a millionaire because it was called 10 for 10, 10 students, you're going to get mentored by millionaires. This was my first experience of a live event. So I go to New York, Madison Square Gardens, and I go into this one event, and I never forget it because I was like, put the first one in and the last one to leave because I was just so hungry to learn this stuff, right? Like, how are these normal people making millions and I'm this broke kid from East London? So I go, and there was a program that we were promoting. It was an affiliate program. It was like $50 on the front end, and then it was like $2,000, and then it was like $10,000 and $20,000. Okay, so I go in, and one of the guys is talking to the other guy. One of the guy was one of my earliest mentors, Michael. So Michael was talking to another guy called Andrew, and they were talking about how they're spending $250 to get a $50 sale. You guys get that? Okay, and I'm thinking to myself, if you're spending $250 to get a $50 sale, how on earth are you making money? That's when Michael explained to me about this concept. And he said, the reason why they spend $250 to get a $50 sale is because each sale over here can be worth anywhere from $2,000 to $10K to $20,000. Do you guys get that? So this is the lifetime value. This was the cost per acquisition, $250. And now, let's say the lifetime value, let's just say on a cheap program, $2K. Okay, on $2K, we now, LTV equals $2K minus CPA equals $250. Let's just call it $200. $1,800. That means for every $200 I spend, I make $1,800 back, right? Is this making sense, everyone? Give me a thumbs up if it's making sense. So that means I'm now making 9 times my money. Do you guys get that? I now make 9 times my money. So I came back home. I mean, I really can't remember what else I learned at that event. I just can't remember because I got this and I thought to myself, wow, these guys make money because they spend money. Okay, so I came back and I remember this was an affiliate program. Okay, I come back and literally from zero, the first year, I make $120,000. Okay, and by the way, so much bloody money for me. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like cloud 9. I have 2 younger brothers, which, you know, I love them. I adore them so much. I was like, guys, I'm rich. But going now every day to Nando's. Okay, Nando's is like this restaurant, or it's like a grill out or something in the UK. And I think they have it globally, but whatever. Okay, I get this. This was my first year, guys. Second year, I now go to $275,000. My third year, I have my first $1.2 million. And then every year from there, it went to 2.4 mil, then it went to 3.6 mil, and then 6.5 mil, and then 7.8 mil, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? And then you kind of lose count, and then it's just a game, and it doesn't matter. But what am I sharing here with you? I developed the system to get the cost per acquisition and the lifetime value dialed in. And again, it was dialed in because of one thing. I had the right funnels. Is this making sense? I want to just like give you everything, okay? Now you have the funnels, which is basically the process of getting customers. You have an offer, which is, you know, who you're selling to, okay? Funnels. And now what we're going to do, funnels and offer, but it's not enough, is it? Because some of you are the best kept secret. How many of you think you're the best kept secret? Oh man, if only more people knew about me, they would just buy my stuff. I'm so good at what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 5 years, for 20 years, for 10 years. How many of you feel like that? It's like, you know,
I was just gonna say Joyce. I'll just say Joyce. Joyce, you meet someone else who's just like you, and then you're like, that person has no idea. I know so much more about them, right? Because you've read all the books behind you, haven't you? Right? So you could be the best kept secret, and it doesn't matter. Okay. Look at something like Louis Vuitton. Okay. Their shoes, by the way, I've been buying those shoes for at least probably about 10 years now. Okay. And I realized my feet have now become like this. Okay. Not good, basically. Okay. My wife said your feet is supposed to be flat, but mine curve in like that. Okay. So I realized these expensive shoes that I've been wearing basically throughout my whole adult life have not been good for me. Notice Louis Vuitton shoes may not be the best shoes ever, but guess what they have? They have so much traffic, so many people want it, that it just becomes a norm. Yes or no? Okay. Sometimes I look at even some, you've seen some of these, some ladies, they will wear expensive clothes, expensive bags, and it doesn't look like the best thing ever. I just told you guys, okay, I've been wearing Louis Vuitton shoes for like, say, 10 years. Okay. By the way, that's their offer. Okay. That's their offer. What's their funnels process? They have shops. Okay. Shops. And they have social media funnels and magazines that they send to you and all of this stuff. But none of this stuff would matter if they didn't have people coming to them. If they didn't have people, if they didn't have traffic. Is this all making sense? So for traffic, I'm going to give you my formula. And like with anything great in life, the traffic formula, we must share a story. Okay. And this is the story. The worst number in business is what? 1. Okay. You must never have one business. You must, not one business. You must never have one. You must never rely on one source of traffic. So I'll meet ladies and gentlemen, and they'll be so happy that they've built this business. And then I say, hey, by the way, where are you getting your traffic from? And they're like, oh, no. My business is so good. All of our traffic is just referral. And I'm like, you're talking to me as if I should be impressed by that. No, listen, unless you're someone huge like Tony Robbins, it could be one part of your business, but that it immediately tells me that you do not have a system to get you 24/7 exposure. Does that make sense? If you have a system, okay, so I see this. I see some people doing, they've got their own business or they're doing affiliate marketing. And all they're doing, I just spoke to someone today and they're like, yeah, I'm doing TikTok and I'm doing YouTube. And I'm like, okay, you're still relying on 2 free traffic sources. Yes or no? I can come into your business, mind my language, and kick your ass from day one by putting in a funnel and sticking some money into traffic. Yes or no? And by the way, I'm thinking of doing exactly just that. Okay. So someone texts me, I'm not going to say who, and they said this and that, Ismail. And I was thinking to myself, this offer will have a high converting lifetime value. I can make a lot of money from this. And guess what I'll do? I'll come in and I'm going to eat your lunch. Yes or no? Same way, listen to me. If you have a business and you're thinking you're the hot shot, okay? So you remember a few days ago, I talked about my friend, Dr. Stu. How many of you remember Dr. Stu? Let's ask that question again. How many of you remember Dr. Stu with the stem cell dogs treatment? Okay, there you go. Nice aspect, okay? So he's spending, let's just say, about 5K per month, and he's making around 100 grand per month, okay? He spends 5K to about 8K a month. And he makes around 100 grand a month, okay? So he's got this unique, formula, whatever. How many of you think that's such a great ROI? It is, okay? You can make your fortune if you can get this sort of ROI. One of the keys is having the right funnels. Why I said to him is, Dr. Stu, being very blunt, because I'm very blunt, and it's the way people sometimes, they have to get that shock, right? So said in a nice way. I said, you do realize that the only reason why you're making so much money is because no one else has caught on to this. And he smiles and he goes, yeah, I know. And he said,
And he said, that's why we want you to come on. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because he realized it. By the way, it doesn't matter what your business is. Ismail's running this TTA. Guess what's going to happen? I just exposed all of you to it. Okay? Sorry, Ismail. Okay? How do I know? How do you know some kid in India or America is not watching this right now, rubbing his hands together, and he's going to stay up all night trying to build his own TikTok's agency?
You guys seeing the value in this, by the way? I need to get some feedback from you guys. Oh, hold on. Can you guys hear me? Glenda, can you hear me? Yeah. How many of you guys are finding this to be very valuable, just by a show of hands? Okay. So this is what I mean, guys. When you are starting off, a lot of the times what happens is you might think to yourself, you know what? I need to go out and do everything from scratch. This is one of my rules, yeah? Never do anything from scratch. Yeah. Never do anything from scratch, okay? Always find a proven campaign. And I'm going to share with you guys the traffic system now. Okay, so I'm just going to go over here. And
£1,000 to £25,000 for these WordPress funnels. Then my friend comes along. Hey, Shaq, it's Russell Brunson. Can you promote my product? I'm like, yeah, Russell. He's now selling funnels, a funnel software. Okay. And all the people that used to follow me for funnels, then are like, hey, why should we follow Shaq when we can just buy this software? Then they quickly realize there's over 100,000 people that use the software. So it's not the software that makes you the money. Does that make sense? Okay. How many of you have bought ClickFunnels and then realize you don't have $1 million award? Because it's not, there you go, right? It's not the software, right? Otherwise, everyone, the 100,000 people that are using ClickFunnels, they'd all be millionaires. But it doesn't work like that. What you have to realize is if you don't have the right traffic system, okay, that consistently gets you customers, even once you're sleeping, that consistently gets you exposure, even once you're sleeping, you're walking on ice, basically. And you could be lucky for 1 year. I know people that have been lucky for 20 years. 20 years later, boom, they lose their business. Why? Someone else is smarter, cheaper, faster. Yes or no? That's why I was telling you guys, you have to have a blue ocean strategy. I know in my business, I have a blue ocean strategy because people, for example, the clients that came in today, okay, Rahina, someone like her, she only wants the premium stuff. She didn't even ask me, is there any discount? She didn't ask me. She said, literally said to me, if you tried to sell me a $5,000 program, I would have thought, nah, this is a waste of my time. I wouldn't buy it. So guess what? I know I have a big blue ocean. Okay, the way I've positioned my offer, I'm the only one. When people think of your name, hear your name, go to your website, go to your funnels, are you the only one? And guess what? My other agency was called soloadsagency.com. Okay, by the way, I paid a mentor $1,500 even when I was really broke. And I go on a phone call. I got on a phone call and I was praying, oh my gosh, I hope this $1,500 is worth it. In the first 10 minutes, he says to me, go buy this domain. And I'm on GoDaddy buying this domain, soloadsagency.com. That I launched it, boom, business started doing 50K a month, no, 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, $300,000 a month in under 12 months. Okay, that's the power of having one good idea. So when Ismail came to me, I'm like, what's Black Digital? Call it what the people are looking for. TikTok's agency. My other agency, which we only have for my private clients, is fbadsagency.com. Wahida, if you came to fbadsagency.com, do I have to explain to you what I do?
No, it's Facebook.
Yeah, it's Facebook. I have another brand called funnelsagency.com. Okay, Kevin, if you come to funnelsagency.com, do I have to sit there and try to sell you 10 minutes? What is a funnel and why my funnels agency, what it does? No. Do you see how I've positioned it? Okay, by the way, that's just one aspect of the positioning. So why does positioning matter? Positioning matters because your traffic becomes much more easy. Okay, traffic becomes much more easy if your offer is positioned right as the only one. So the big mistake people make with traffic is that they only rely on one. One is the worst number in business. Why? Because something happens, your business goes down because of one traffic source. Okay. And I know this because early on in my career, I lost a business that was very close to my heart. And I remember back in the day, I used to go to these cafes. There's this one guy in the cafe, and I start talking to him, and I'm telling him every single thing about my business. And literally the next month, he launched the exact same thing, and he took all of my customers. Okay, because I was trying to get 1 or 2 or 3 customers here and there. He went right to the company, did a joint venture with them, and my entire business went just like this. Okay, so we want to have traffic, and what I've come up with is something called the MSOT formula. What does MSOT stand for? Multiple sources of traffic. Multiple sources of traffic. This is how you build a bulletproof business, a recession-proof business, a pandemic-proof business, recession-proof, pandemic-proof, competition-proof business. Is this making sense, everyone? See, now I have multiple sources of traffic. What do we have? It's my what other traffic sources that we use? Facebook ads, what else? LinkedIn messaging, Instagram, emails, TikToks, YouTube, of course, YouTube, solo ads, JVs, events, sponsorships, other people's events. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're adding a new one with affiliates. That's 11 traffic sources. If Edin tomorrow wanted to go out and compete with me, how are you going to do that when I have all of this, right? By the way, Facebook doesn't like it for whatever reason. They shut me down. Guess what happens? I've got all these traffic sources. Yes or no? Here's the thing. My best traffic source and the one that I'm always working on is emails. Why? Because this is the one no one can take away from me. Yes or no? Some of you have become my customers for the first time. Hopefully you have got thousands of dollars worth of value and my time and my energy here. Some of you have gone on to invest lots of different things with us in the last few days, today. Some of you will stick around for the next 5 or 10 years. I have people that I send an email a day and they have been following me and they still get emails from me. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, but guess what? This is how you build passive income, stability and security, and an ever-growing business. This is what we want to have for you. When you apply and you get selected to work with us as a VIP, we will help you build your own MSOT traffic formula so that you never worry about when is your next customer coming from. Can I share this story with you guys? Personal story. A few days ago, I asked Ismail, hey Ismail, I want to basically buy this place, okay? So there's this penthouse that's on for sale. And I'm thinking, hey, now the recession is here, blah, 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 now's the time to just invest in my business and myself. And he said something to me, and he's like, one of those campaigns that you ran? I was like, yeah. Because, that campaign did about 300, 400K. I said, yeah. He goes, well, why don't you just run that campaign 3 or 4 times? Boom, you've got an extra £1 million. You're sorted. You can buy the extra other penthouse. Is that cool or what? There and then, I made a commitment. Hey, I'm going to run this campaign and we'll do it 4 times. Let's get it. Who's with me? So what happens is, okay, how many of you know who Dan Kennedy is? Okay, Dan Kennedy basically says, I think he talks about the Beatles or something, right? One of the guys wanted to buy a swimming pool. And the other guy said, how are you going to afford that? And he said, oh, I'm just going to come up. We're just going to make a new single. So imagine you want to buy your parents something. You want to donate to a charity. You want to do something for the world or for yourself, okay? Take care of yourself before you take care of the world, right? You want to buy this house. You want to pay off your mortgage. You want to buy this dream car that you've always wanted. What if it was as easy as, let me make more offers? What if it was as simple as that? And what if you started developing the skills to create offers? Because if you do, now you have an endless stream of wealth and cash flow coming in? Yes or no? Okay, when you start thinking like this, guys, you don't really struggle in being scarcity minded. You now start thinking, oh my gosh, what's the possibility? I can buy one house. Oh, what can I do? I can make this offer. I can do that, right? Everything becomes limitless. So MSOT, multiple sources of traffic. The next one, and this is, by the way, the final thing that wraps it all up, okay, is multiple MSOC, okay? MSOC stands for multiple sources of conversions. So remember how I talked about the formula to making money online, to building your business, is you gotta have traffic and conversions equals cash. Yes? Traffic, people coming into your business, conversions equals cash. What if you had multiple sources of conversions? So for example, I have what's called a 5-day challenge. Okay, 5-day challenge. How many of you guys think this is an effective way to convert customers into sales? Raise your hand. Okay. I have people that have no idea who I am come and spend 5 days with me. I promised an hour or 75 minutes a day. I've been doing about 3 hours per day. Yes or no? First thing is, am I over delivering? No matter what you think of this challenge, you're going to walk by and you're going to say, that guy over delivered. You could have done 1 hour, done. But you see, I created worksheets. I have slides. I have whatever, iPad. I'm going above and beyond. So this is a form of conversions. Second one is the VSL. Okay, we talked about this. The call funnel. What does the call funnel do? It brings people to me. Okay, it brings people to me. If someone has, you know, $5, $10, $20,000, most of them, my team, you know, I have people that are setters, I have people that are closers, they will take over. Now, what happens is during these challenges, I'll step in for a little bit and I'll say, hey, if someone is serious, then I'll personally take the call. This is how I've been doing that? Yes. Why would I do that? Because look, I do these challenges, you know, once a year, once every 2 years, like this, in this manner. So it's okay for me to get on the phone, get to know Mahmoud. He just joined one of our VIP programs. Okay. Again, I asked him, he's like, nah, he don't know who I am. Okay. He's much newer than George is like, yeah, I know you for 6 years. I've been getting your emails, blah, blah, blah. You know, Mahmoud is like, I don't even know who you are. But he's like, he connected with me on something and he's like, okay, cool, I'm buying. So third one is what we call the automated webinar. Okay, auto webinar. This is a webinar. How many of you would like to sell courses online? So maybe say $500 to $1,000, $2,000. I recommend having anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 courses. Okay, $1,000 course, you need 3 of them, 3 measly sales a day to make basically basically 100 grand a month, which is $1 million a year income. Okay, and you have, let me tell you this, you have enough experience, okay, enough expertise in your life that you can turn your experience, your passion, your expertise, your mistakes. Okay, some of you have made a lot of mistakes in life. Who's there? Now you need to take those mistakes and that mess and turn it into a profitable message that makes millions, because that's an asset. You get it? Because guess what? If you now made a mistake, okay, and you're in your 40s, okay, so let's just say you've made XYZ mistake, okay? We're not gonna go into, but let's just say you made XYZ mistake. Now you start making a video or a auto webinar or even a call funnel. Okay, this is the first funnel that we teach our clients to do, and we give them the tools, resources, templates, fill in the blanks to do this. Now you go in and you make this call funnel, and in the call funnel you say, oh, by the way, this is a mistake that I made. Someone who's in their maybe 20s, 30s, or 40s, they look at that and say, I don't want to make that mistake. I need to come and learn from this guy. Does that make sense? Okay. And you could teach almost anything based on your experience and expertise and have people pay you for it. Okay, because there's going to be someone out there that will resonate with your messaging. Does this make sense? Okay. However, if you start comparing yourself with other people, if you start thinking, okay, you don't have the confidence or you've never done this, then someone else is going to do what you're planning to do. And in about 1, 2, 3 years, you're going to think, oh man, I should have really launched that course. I should have launched that funnel. How many of you feel like that right now? Okay, I know because my team have been saying they're all mainly stuck at whatever they're doing. They need a proven roadmap. This is what I'm giving you guys, okay? Now, to close this off, you have MSOC, multiple sources of conversions. Remember, this is your funnels, okay? This is the funnels. This is, for those of you who are totally new, this is your shop. People are coming into your shop to buy stuff. MSOT, multiple sources of traffic, okay? You can have the best shop. You can be the best kept secret in the world. But if no one's coming, the traffic is the eyeballs, it's the visitors. This is the lifeblood of your business, okay? You can have the best product, you're the best person, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if you can't get an abundance of traffic, okay? If you can't get lots of people coming in. If this is making sense, just raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. MSOC plus MSOT. Conversions plus traffic equals cash. Okay? One more thing that I'm going to add, just in case some of you are like a little bit more concerned. What is cash? Cash is money. Okay? Cash, money. What is money? Money is a byproduct, a reward that gets paid out to someone who solves a problem. If you make X amount of money, that means you solve X amount of problems. If you make no money right now, it means you don't solve no problem. Does that make sense? What we want to do is we want to solve problems at scale without sacrificing our soul, sacrificing our values, sacrificing our life. The way you do that is by leveraging technology. The most efficient, profitable, simplest way of leveraging this technology is one word: having the right funnels. Who's with me, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, this is why, to summarize, okay, write this down, to summarize. It's a lot of notes. Stage 1, you gotta understand before, during, and after of your company, of your business, of your idea. Doesn't matter if you're making zero. I know people here that are making literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, okay? So we want to identify the who, the what. We want to identify the funnels. We want to identify the cost per acquisition and LTV. We want to identify what are the different traffic sources, the traffic formula, MSOT. We want to identify MSOC, multiple sources of conversions. And then to wrap it up, we want to include all of this in one funnel. And you start off with one funnel and you get yourself an additional $10,000, $30,000, even $50,000 a month. Maybe you're already doing something and it's working. Maybe you're getting a few customers here and there. Okay, most people that we've spoken to are making an average of, again, some people will make a lot more. You saw, one of the clients here, she just left a $1 million business, but most people, it would be anywhere from, say, let's just say under $30,000 a month, okay? The thing that's going to help you scale is going to be having the right funnels. How many of you really enjoyed this, by show of hands? Okay, I'd love for you guys, write this down, okay? Send me a video review or a written testimonial inside of the Facebook group, okay? And we're gonna select a handful of people that have given us great reviews, and we're going to be giving away some cool prizes, okay? I'm going to announce it in the Facebook group in the next few days. You need to stay tuned for the Facebook group. What else? To wrap this up, we are going to, again, I'm going to be doing a bonus training session for the next few days, okay? So from Monday to Thursday, 4 days, from 3 p.m. onwards, okay? 3 p.m. UK time. I want to taking your business to the next level, okay? Especially No, so some of you have asked, Shaq, what are the different things that you can help us with? And I'm going to spend a few minutes going over this right now so that I can show you guys what's on available. Is that cool with you guys? Okay, cool. So some people have asked, Shaq, how do we go to the next level? Okay, how do we go to 6 to 7 figures? Now, for most people, it's going to be this program, which is we're going to show you how to launch your own high ticket offer. Okay, what is a high ticket offer? A high ticket offer is essentially anything that you can sell from $3,000 to $25,000. Okay? Now, if you're like, man, I want to launch how many of you want to launch your own courses, coaching, consulting? By a show of hands. Okay, so keep this in mind. This is a program that's in for you. If you purchase this program, you qualify for it, and you go through basically my team, they select you for this program. We're going to include, the marketing and mentorship with myself. We're also going to include this one, which is how to launch your own high ticket agency and have someone else deliver all the work. How many of you would like to launch a agency and have all the work outsourced? Raise your hand. Let me see. Come close to the camera. Okay. When you get this program, we include the agency program and the affiliate program included. Okay. Some of you, I know you're affiliates. You don't want to use your face. You don't want to use your name. You just want to be behind the scenes, send traffic, make $2,000-3,000 commission per sale. I got you covered. Okay. In my past life, so to speak, I was a super affiliate. Okay, so I understand, what it means to do affiliate marketing. All right. So what do you get with the funnels agency in a box? These are just some of the things that you get covered. Okay, I don't want to kind of go through every single thing because there's a lot. But essentially, agency model structure. So George, what is the perfect agency model structure? So I'll give you an example. Ismail, you charge $16,000. And then how much percentage of ad spend? 15%. So he charges, write this down, guys. He charges $16,000 or $6,000 a month plus 15% ad spend. How much is 15% of ad spend with the current client? It's around, so from day one, it's going to be making $2,000 a month recurring income. Do you understand what that means? Okay. And wake up each month, as long as the client is paying each month an extra $2,000 richer. By the way, that's including on top of the actual management fee. So some people will do this model, George. Okay. So as I'm talking to George, I want all of you to kind of understand and make notes of this. Okay. They will show you the top money niches, agency offer research, client proposals, and contracts. Remember, I talked about, what do you say to a client to get them to give you money? And by the way, I will show you some clients, like for example, in my business, some clients, especially when they're like small business owners, they're like a doctor or, they've got some sort of clinic or whatever, they'll ask me, hey, can you write me a proposal? So I'm going to include my proven proposals in this program. Getting to your first 10 testimonials, setting up your OSS, blah, 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 and then productizing your service delivery. So how do you sell a service and then have the whole thing outsourced, even if you don't know how to do Facebook ads, right? This guy here does not know how to do TikTok ads, okay? But he's paying someone to run all of the TikTok ads, okay? Advertising insights, delegate and replace. So what else do you get? The templates, the docs, the cheat sheets. So all of the contracts, every single thing that's required. How do you hire VAs that can get this done? What are the different outcomes? What are the different pricing? Are you going to do revenue share or do you just want to charge people upfront? Every single thing that's required for your agency, this gets covered. An online community, so you're going to be part of a private Facebook community, online access. You're going to get 4 live Q&A calls. Okay, so we do anywhere from 3 to 5 calls a week. Okay, so how many times have you bought something and you didn't get the right support? Anyone? Okay, you're like, man, I bought this, I tried this, but I'm kind of scared. Well, guess what? Like I said, I wanted to create a no-fail system where, hey, day one at Mondays we go through funnels and offers. Tuesdays we'll do Traffic Tuesdays. We'll cover Facebook ads, YouTube ads, whatever. Okay. Maybe we'll give you one day off, or maybe we won't. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, we'll cover sales calls, how to close people for $10,000 programs, even if you've never, sold something. Or even if you hate selling, how do you outsource all of your sales? Tech support. I talked about, we're going to add a new one, which is not even listed here, social media marketing, with my right-hand creative director of funnels.com. Me and him, we're going to be charging clients anywhere from $20,000, okay, up to $50,000 for some of these videos that we're going to create. Okay, this is a little bit more advanced, like documentary style videos, but he's going to be the one, by the way, he's going to be teaching you how to create effective videos. Okay, and you can outsource the video creation and whatnot. Okay, the last one, which is I'm really excited about this one. Okay, how many of you would love to partner up and position yourself as a funnel consultant with my company? By show of hands. Think about this. Okay, imagine now, everyone knows about funnels. Look how big this whole industry has become, thanks to ClickFunnels, thanks to all these other companies like GrooveFunnels and whatnot. Imagine now Mahmoud goes to a business owner and is like, hey, I'm certified as a funnel certification consultant. A funnel certified consultant, you show your little certificate on your website, we'll give you a little badge, you put that on. Do you think you can charge a higher price for your services? Absolutely. Okay, so you're gonna get a partnership program with the funnels agency. Okay, so my own funnels agency. Okay, so you get also 6 month, 6 to 7 figure blueprint launch program going through. Okay, again, we have a community of people that will hold you accountable. As you can see, these are some of our students from all over. Okay, scroll down, live calls every week, people sharing the results. These are just like testimonial stuff, but this is how the program works. And I'm just going to show you guys a little, posted a picture today, but I'll just show you the step-by-step plan. So I covered funnels agency, and I'm going to just cover this one. Okay, so this is basically the high ticket offer. So if you wanted to sell, courses and coaching and high level consulting, this is the step-by-step program that I created. Okay. The reason why I created this, I hired one of my main client success directors, I've been with him for about 7-8 years, came in and literally every single thing. So think about this, right? Like you're coming in, you just invested in this. You want to learn how do you make 6 figures, 7 figures. Starts with developing the right millionaire mindset. The tools, how do you shift your thinking? Okay, then I created this and then the done for you funnel setup. So imagine like you stay aside, me and my team just build you a proven done for you funnel. So all of your tech stuff gets taken care of. Is this powerful stuff? Yes. Next is the AMO framework. AMO stands for audience, message, and your mafia offer. Okay, if you don't have a mafia offer and your competitor does, he or she will get the money and not you. Okay, if your business is like, hey, I just do XYZ, I help people lose weight. Sorry, but that's lame. I help people get ripped whilst working out 3 times a week with no gym equipment. What is that? You guys see where I'm going with this? Okay, first one is lame. I help people lose weight. Second one is like, wow. One of my friends here in the UK, he makes really good money, has a great lifestyle, he's a proper 6-pack training guy. He does training, right? His tagline is very simple. Basically, I help overworked CEOs and busy professionals get into shape, right? And so not just get into shape, like basically get ripped. Okay, so we want to identify what is yours. Next one is I created something called a story asset stack. 15 types of content you can copy, paste, model for instant authority, conversions, and effortless selling. How many of you would like to do the work once and then for the rest of the year, just chill the heck out? Anyone? Okay. How many of you feel like, man, if I get on Facebook, it's a drain because I get sucked into seeing what everyone else does. I get imposter syndrome, comparisonitis. I'm like, I don't like it. I hate social media, but I know that's where my clients are at. How many of you feel like that? Okay. By the way, I go through this phase. Today, I go on, I don't usually get on, but I have to get on to see you guys. and I saw one guy and he's got three, not one. Okay, one of my dream cars is basically it's called a Bugatti. Okay, how many of you know what a Bugatti is? Okay, basically it's like the stupid ass car. It's like 3-4 million pound. All these top entrepreneurs that I know, they have it. So I'm like, I gotta get one. Okay, so I have it. I have a picture of it on my vision board and all of that. This guy today, okay, posts 3 of his Bugattis, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, and instantly I could find myself. I not that I'm jealous or I have any animosity or anything, but I'm now thinking about cars when I actually just go onto Facebook to talk to you guys. Okay. Now, by the way, I know I'm not the only one. How many of you get distracted very quickly and easily? Okay, well, guess what? With the story asset stack system, this is what helps me and protects my time, energy, and focus. I do the work once, and then we just automate the posting. Okay. So I literally wrote this out, I think during pandemic or before the pandemic. It took a little bit of time, but it's every single story. You know, Kevin, what I was talking about, you take your stories and you turn them into assets and lessons. Boom, guess what? All of them are now. They're there. And I give you the actual formula. So you can literally model this. Once you do this, you don't have to be a slave to social media anymore. We go through perfect selling system. How do you sell to perfect premium clients? What's the word for word scripts that you can use? How do you outsource all of your sales? So some of you are like, yeah, I want to make high ticket money, but I don't want to get on the phone to sell because I want to deliver to my clients. Well, guess what? You're going to get the perfect selling system. Email marketing secrets, 7-day email sequence, 30-day email sequence, a 12-month sequence. And I literally include something like 300-400 emails. Okay, even this organic audience, traffic building, then we go into Facebook ads, we go into YouTube training and whatnot. This is all part of the training program for launching your high ticket offer, okay? If you are interested in this and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I need. I wanna, launch my own high ticket offer. I wanna partner up with Shaq, I wanna do this agency thing, or I wanna do affiliate stuff. Go to funnels.com/VIP, go and book your call today. So what's next is the training. You're going to get access to not just like online training, but behind the scenes in private masterminds. So when I do masterminds in the UK or in America, you're going to be able to get access to come and join me and my team. Okay?
Guys, since there's some background noise coming in, I'm going to just stop on that. But like I said, how many of you guys have looked at this and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I have to do whatever it takes to really craft my own program by a show of hands. Okay, let me ask you this, right? How many of you, just by watching this from a sales presentation, you're like, you know what, if I was given the slides, if I was given the presentations, if I was given all of these tools and resources, and all I had to do was follow a step-by-step proven system, I could also see myself doing this. How many of you feel like that? Okay, so if you haven't yet booked in a call with our team, Ismail, if you drop a link, okay, it's funnels.com/VIP. We require you to put down at least $1,000 deposit. And here's how this works, okay? My team will call you up, figure out your goals, make sure that you're going to be a right fit for us. And then we can offer you the different programs. Now, today I came up with a system that I usually don't talk about, which is very affordable for anyone. Okay, it's literally less than how much is it, Ismail? It's less than $2,000, so it's an absolute no-brainer. It's really designed to get people making 50 to $100 a day really quickly. Okay, so this basically requires zero experience whatsoever. There's over 15,000 customers have already bought this, and this basically, if you're like, yo, I don't want to do affiliate stuff, I don't want to do funnels, I don't want to sell my own programs, I just want to be behind the scenes and I just want an extra 50 to $100, maybe $200 a day, make an extra $4,000 to $6,000 a month. How many of you would like something like that? Okay. This program is the best program that I have ever seen. Okay. I'm not kidding when I say this. As soon as I got access to it, I just sent it, well, about to send it to two of my close family relatives. Okay. I like to call this program the bozo proof income system. Like literally the guy that created, I didn't even create it, the guy that invented it, okay, has been doing this for 20 years. And he goes, Shaqir, I have never seen a more bozo proof. And again, I'm not, insulting anyone. But how many of you know other people that are bozos? Not obviously not me and you, but other people out there. Yes or no? There's someone out there. Mikey, do you know someone out there? You're not a bozo. I wouldn't work with bozos. But listen, sometimes in life, you need to have a bozo-proof system. And until now, I don't promote other people's stuff unless I own like an equity or I own some of it. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm going to share this with you. However, if you're interested, you still have to book a call, funnels.com/VIP. Put down $1,000 deposit today. And with all of our programs, it's very simple. You're going to go through a couple of people that you have to speak to on our team. If they qualify and they know, okay, this is someone that has to work with Shaqir Hussain, then you're going to be scheduled in with a call with me. Does that make sense? That call will usually last 10 to 15 minutes. Now, some people like Devon today and Abid, I spent like over an hour with them on the phone. Okay. I don't know if it was like 1 hour each or it was like one. Basically, I spent a lot of time going through from beginning to end. Yes or no, guys? Okay. Yesterday, I spoke to Jenny. Even if it was 2 a.m., I was like, don't worry, I have to set up nighttime anyway for my prayers and stuff. So I'm just going to speak to her. So I spent some time talking to her. Now, if my team feel like, you know what, you're not going to be a right fit, then we will recommend maybe other resources. If you feel like, hey, you know what, no matter what happens, we just can't help you, then we will just simply refund you. Is that fair to say? We're not in the business of keeping your $1,000, darling or gentleman. Okay, we're in the business of creating millionaire success stories, right? I need new friends. Okay, you saw those guys there? Todd Phillips, Mike Barron, Scott Weddle. I look at them as friends, right? They come in, they get results. Some of them become multimillionaires. They become friends. Okay. I'm not, this sounds so weird. Like I'm pitching to make new friends. All right. But bottom line is this. If since you're here, funnels.com/VIP, go there right now, put down $1,000 deposit. That will give you access to speak to someone from our team. We'll go through the 2 to 3 different programs. My team will go through this. If we feel like, hey, you know what, $18,000 is a little bit too much of a stretch, then have at least $1,500 to $2,000, and we'll offer you the other program that's comes again. It's guaranteed to work as long as you do the work. Okay, 15,000 customers can't be wrong. Yes or no? Okay, just like Abid. When I'm speaking to Abid, I'm like, Abid, of course I can help you with funnels because me and my team we've built like 1,000 funnels. You're asking me for 1. Okay, you're asking me for 7. Okay. We have the experience. Just like if I wanted something, like when you go and cut your hair, the guy that's going to cut your hair, this is not his first time cutting hair, is it? It's going to be someone experienced. So it's the same thing. When you come to us, you're coming to people that have got experience. So I have got a few slides I'm going to go through. Actually, should I just go through Q&A, Ismail? Or should I go through the slides that you have? Slides first. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay. And by the way, Ismail, give me a shout as soon as you see another action taker joining. Okay. By the way, how many of you guys are ready to like move forward with us? Okay. If you haven't moved forward with us right now, go to funnels.com/VIP. VIP. If you go there, there's going to be a link there, and it's for $1,000 down. Okay, like I said, Diana, Deidre, Garrett, Joy Gabriel, if you haven't put down $1,000 deposit, go and do that right now. And then me and my team can get you started. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay. But in 24 hours from now, you will have a business ready to go started. Okay. An idea, a more than just an idea, a proven methodology to start seeing results. Okay. Do not waste time. Go ahead right now. So let me just pull up my document. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. And for those of you who are on, so we'll go on for a little bit longer to go over this. Okay, so essentially what happens is when we help you launch, okay, the first week we'll help you go through the launch time scale. So setting proper expectation, developing your OSS. You don't have to write this down, but essentially each step builds on one another. Okay. So some of you are going to come in for the DIY, do it yourself. Some of you are going to come in for done for you. Some of you are going to come in for done with you. So if you see here, this one, complete sales method defined, how to approach your target audience, closing sales, how to create and automate your funnel. And all we need from you is literally 1 or 2 calls with our team, and then my team will get to work. And specifically, okay, specifically for everyone that's coming on this month, guys, here's what I am doing. Okay, for everyone that's coming on this month, I am personally going to be reviewing every single one of these funnels. As I shared with you, I'm looking for just 20 people. Ismail, how many spots do we have left? Is it 7 or 8?
It's actually not 4.
Okay, so we have 4, right? You're gonna update the page. So basically, guys, we have less than 10. Okay, so he's saying 4. I just saw 8. My tech guy is sleeping, so I don't even know how many spots there are. But like I said, we're taking 20 people and that's it. Okay, 20 people, and then I plan to stop this. And what you have to realize is, although there's less than 100 people on live watching this right now, over 1,100 people have watched this. So how many of you know I'm going to be emailing like crazy by a show of hands? You know I'm all about that follow-up game, yes or no? By the way, those are going to be automated emails going out, yes or no? Now, for some people, like for example, Devon, he's on it. Jenny, she's on it. Glenda, she's on it. Okay? Well, it's very good for you guys to see how we will get more sales even when the challenge is over. Does that make sense? Because this, and you want to write this down, you make money, you become rich from promotions. You become wealthy from campaigns. Okay? This 5-day challenge that you're on right now, this is a proven campaign. I could literally take anyone. For example, I can take Devon and I can position him as an expert in any niche. Maybe he's an expert at helping people get loans, get funding for their business, write off stuff for taxes. And I can position him with a 5-day campaign challenge. Notice if something works, okay, let me just stop this. And then if something works as a challenge campaign, if it's worked for me and I've done it 15 times, can I copy the entire campaign and can I pass it on to someone like Devon? Yes or no? Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, so think about it from this perspective, right? If something works, instead of you trying to do it from beginning to end, if I just come in and I'm like, here's what you do, boom, 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 okay, 90% of it, we'll customize it, we'll do it for you. You just have to do the other 5% or 10%. How many of you feel like, okay, you know what? I can get results much faster. Yes or no? This is why for these 20 people, okay, so a lot of the times when we do these programs and such, just being very transparent, it's almost like, hey, great to meet you. Okay, buy my stuff. Okay, now my team is gonna handle you. Okay. This specific 20 people, okay, like I said, my next book, Recession Millionaire. How many of you want to be featured on my next book? Because I'm gonna work my backside off to promote this to millions of people all over the world. Okay. I've done a single YouTube video and we advertise it on YouTube. You got over 1 million views. So let me just show you, I know how to get millions and millions of people to come and see my stuff. If I have a little story of you and your success story and your inspiration to others, maybe half a page, maybe 1 page, whatever, do you think that could do a lot for your credibility and brand for the rest of your life? I know, because 10 years ago, a guy did that to me and his book went on to become New York Times bestseller. I got featured in his book. It was life-changing. It was literally life-changing. I went from an absolute nobody, no name, no one respected me, no one bought from me, bang, overnight. Okay, and I've seen how fast this stuff happens. So if you're watching me right now and you're thinking to yourself, now how do I start? How do I get in? Then this is what you want to do. Okay, funnels.com/VIP. Go there, put down $1,000 deposit. We will find a business model that works for you. Are you with me? So for example, Cheryl, if Cheryl is here and she says, hey, you know what? I've seen all of this stuff, except, you know, I don't want to do the 10 things that you're mentioning. What else can I do? Okay, we will walk you through a system, a program that we have that has worked, that 15,000 paying customers have gone through and that you can go through. How many of you feel like this is a no-brainer? Okay. How many of you are like, you know what, Shaqir, I love to work with you, but man, $18,000 is a little bit out of my reach, by a show of hands. That's okay. It's a safe space here. No one's going to judge you. Okay. What if you use that system that I'm going to give you and you're making an extra 6 grand, 8 grand a month, maybe even $10,000 a month? By the way, I know people that are making tens of thousands of dollars a month. It's actually even in the UK, which is crazy. Okay. And then maybe 2 to 3 months down the line, you're like, okay, cool, let me upgrade. How many of you would like something like that? Here's another thing as well. Next week, I'll do a full presentation and I'm going to share it with all of the people in the challenge. But since you're watching this right now, if you put down $1,000 deposit, you're going to be able to get in before everyone else next week. Okay. And all it is, you put down the deposit of $1,000, you speak to my team will create a bespoke or bespoke. How do you pronounce that word? Bespoke, bespoke, whatever. You guys get it. It's customized. Okay. My English isn't even that good, Devon. You don't have to use Zoom. You don't have to be too smart. You don't even have to pronounce bespoke. Are you trying to correct me? Are you trying to correct me? No, I'm not sharing my screen, but I think one of my team members, because they're smarty pants, the young smarty pants, they're trying to correct me. Anyway, bespoke, streamlined process, okay? Whether your budget is $1,000 or $100,000, we will create a package that suits you. There was a lady yesterday, in all transparency. Is transparency important for success? Yeah, you got to be transparent in what you do, okay? People will know, like, and trust you. Yesterday, a lady I spoke to, I won't mention her name. Yesterday, she came on and she said, hey, I can buy this program, that program. I've got close to 6 figures in her retirement account, but she's going to get fined if she takes that money out. I literally just said to her, you know what? I don't want you to do that. If you keep that money, I don't want you to be stressed when you come to us. Does that make sense? Now, that doesn't apply for men. Okay, by the way, where are those men here? If you're a man here, I expect you to be manly and say, hey, Shaq, if you're going to push me, I'm going to push myself. How many of you are with me? Okay, so for ladies, I just have a soft heart. So I'm not going to even push you guys. Okay, if you tell me you don't have money, my team will do something. But if you're a man and you want to work with me, I'm going to get you to come outside your comfort zone with no apologies. Okay. This is what my dad did to me. And I think I turned out okay. Okay. And so for men, I have, you know, whether you're young or you're old, if we talk and you speak to my team and they realize, okay, you have the mental sanity, you can follow 10 steps, we're going to push you. Is that okay with you guys? Because sometimes when people are too soft, okay, here's what my experience is. When people are too soft, you kind of hear what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. Yes or no? Someone's like, hey, bro, you know, I got this great story, man. Listen, you know, I spent 10 grand here, 20 grand there. I'm like, okay, look, to work with me, $50,000 to $100,000, one-on-one. You have the money? No, go find the money. You have the money? It's going to be a stretch. I need you to stretch. I want you to stretch. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Because if you're like, yeah, I'll just chuck 5 grand there, 10 grand there, you know, it's like, where are my pens? Okay, this is still an expensive pen. Let's do this one. Okay, maybe a $20 pen. How do I treat it? Whatever. $500 pen. How do I treat it? Big difference. Yes or no? Very big difference. It's just a dang pen. Okay. You can shave with, I don't know, how much is a blade? $10 blade. Use it, throw it in the bin. This one, 300 pounds, nearly 400 US dollars. Okay. This one stays nicely. I don't even use this thing. Kid. Yes or no? You guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? Are you guys getting this? If you're getting it, just type into the chat box. I'm getting it. You pay attention. Okay. You invest, not in me, you invest in yourself. Okay. All I need is for you to trust me and trust yourself that I'm going to give you the system. I hold nothing back. These presentations, look how much we over deliver. I don't even like to sell anything under $10,000. It's just my nature. Remember, I've been doing this for 13 years. Why should I sell something for under? But Ismail, my team is like, hey man, some people they're on a budget. I'm like, okay, like 5 to 10 grand. No, he's like, no, they've only got a few $1,000, but they want to work with you. How many of you want to be part of the Wealth Academy team, the funnels community? Okay, so this is my way in. Okay, maybe you don't have the 18 grand. Okay, well, let me help you make a bunch of money. Then you can come back and come in. So this is what I'm saying. So for some men who are here, if you have the money, come in. We do have a couple of the spots for Inner Circle open. We also have spots for the accelerator, the VIP Funds Accelerator. So wherever you are, okay, whether it's $1,000 or $100,000, come in. You've heard from amazing guys, Dr. Devon. You've heard it from Abid. You heard from Jenny. You heard from Glenda throughout this presentation. So whatever budget you have, whether you're experienced, okay, I know people in this group right now, they've made millions and they've lost millions. And I know some people that are complete newbies. They've tried 101 things, nothing has worked. Work with me, you will see we will make it work, okay? Next thing, turning your ideas and skills into a premium high-ticket program, even if you want to have a faceless money printing system. So we cover multiple business models. How many of you would like to even promote my own affiliate offers by a show of hands? So one of the things that we do with all of our clients is as soon as you complete this program, and this program actually doesn't even end on day 5. That's why next week you're going to see some extra bonuses and bonus classes. That's part of this 5-day program. What you're going to see is we will have people that have come from all different walks of life, make money, and teach others how to do this. And so one of the things that we do is we open up our affiliate program. Does that make sense? So based on, for example, say Dr. Devon, he joins us, okay? As an affiliate, we're going to ramp up a licensing deal with him and us. So when he sends us customers, we send him money. So for example, if he's like, you know what, he wants to go and charge $25,000, $100,000 for a funnel, he can let my team do all of the work and we can just rebrand, for example, Funnels Agency and him as partners. If you were positioned with you and me as a partner, where you leverage my credibility, my authority, being featured on Forbes, best-selling author, all of that fancy stuff. How many of you think you could make a lot more sales? Guys, my first $1 million, obviously, alhamdulillah, mashallah, God gave it to me. Okay, Allah blessed me. That's number one. Second thing is, the model that I used was affiliate marketing. It wasn't even my own stuff. Do you guys get it? Now I can speak on camera. I'm confident. I can speak on stage. Back then, I was this young Asian fat dude living in his parents' house, no confidence, you know. And then I drop out of university because I want to be this internet millionaire. Everyone's laughing at me. And then I find out something called a recession. I'm like, what the heck is a recession? It's 2009. So imagine I drop out against my friends and family's wishes. My dad was mad disappointed back then. He's not anymore, trust me, okay? But back then he was. He was like, you know, all of my friends, they all have degrees, the sons, okay? You're going to be the only one without a degree. And I thought, man, Baba, I'll be rich, okay? And what I remember from that moment was, as soon as I dropped out, boom, something called the recession, 2009, okay? And then 2010, 2011, all sorts of crazy things happened in the world. You know what didn't happen is I didn't lose my way. A lot of people, what happens is they lose their way when they don't get results. My goal with you is one simple thing. Consider us to be your last and final mentors. Okay? This is it. If you can't make it work with us, then I'm going to say it's time for you to leave internet marketing and maybe try a job or something, or do something else, but don't do internet marketing. We are committed to helping all of our students, okay? Up until today, 2023, I didn't even have anything less than, you know, $6,000 or $10,000 to work with us. Today, this is the first time ever, because I've just partnered up with a company. They've already got 15,000 paid customers. I'm confident we can help you, guaranteed. $1,000 is the minimum. Put down your deposit, stick it on a credit card, do whatever you have to do. Get in on this. Funnels.com/VIP. Ismail, put the link in there. Diana says it's awesome. How many of you guys are ready to move forward with us? Yeah. $1,000 deposit down today. You're going to get a call tonight, tomorrow. And like I said, the full program startup package is $2,000. Come in, we'll get you started. Okay, next thing. So all of you, as soon as you become a customer, you'll also become an affiliate of ours where you can promote our stuff. Now, because Glenda is what I call a diamond client with Wealth Academy and Funnels, when she promotes us, so all she has to do is she gets this link. It's called a affiliate link. It's got salesfunnelschallenge.com/Glenda. She just posts that to friends and family, to her social network, to anyone that she thinks wants to learn about online business. How many of you can do that even today? It doesn't take rocket science. Hey, and this is what I'd recommend all of you guys do. Take a selfie of you and me on this call right now, okay? Like I've been taking lots of selfies with you guys. Whoa. Let me fix my hair, make sure I'm looking good. I mean, it's 2 a.m. Cut me some slack, Glenda. Hey, listen, if you're watching this right now, I have tons of people. We had over 1,100 people, 1,100 people register from all over the world to join our 5-day challenge. So this offer right now is absolutely killing it for us. If you want to promote it and make as much as $2,500 commissions per single referral, we do free 5-day challenges. We also do a paid front-end 5-day challenge. I've run this campaign right now over 50. Well, this is my 15th one. I plan to do this 2 times a month, and then we're going to scale it up to running this 4 times a month. So rest assured, if you're looking to promote something high quality, by the way, are you guys enjoying this? Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. This is a product that customers absolutely love it. And I've been running it for a few years. This is the first time right now opening it up to affiliates. One of our affiliates just sent over 250 registrations, tons of upsells. It's converting like wildfire. I've been in the game for the last 13 years. You probably know who I am. I ran wealthacademy.com, one of the top offers in the entire world, built to multiple 8 figures in my 20s. Now I own funnels.com, also built this thing to 8-figure juggernaut. And I want you to take a piece of the pie. So if you're looking to create without passive income, if you're looking to create extra commissions, maximize your list, maximize your social network, and you want to actually deliver a high quality product, I'm super proud of this program, Sales Funnels Challenge. Sign up as an affiliate down below. Get your links instantly, start promoting. If you need any help, reach out to my team. They're here to support you. We'll give you done for you copy, paste, promotional tools, resources, text messages, social posts. Literally just sign up as an affiliate right now. Copy the stuff, copy your links, start posting. You're going to start seeing registrations, commissions flying in. Look forward to it. My name is Shaqir Hussain. Look forward to sending you big commission checks. God bless. Peace out. I've got a hand ache here. All right. My arms are aching from that. But anyway, did you guys see what I just did there? Mikey, take that video, put it on salesfunnels.com on the JV page. Okay, so imagine now I've done the hard work of the entire affiliate promotions. Okay, so I give you copy and paste promotional tools. How many of you believe that if you got the right training, you'd be able to start promoting? Yes or no? Yeah, so this is one of the first things that we do, and I'm just going to walk you guys through. Now, I'll show you what this looks like. Okay, over here, you can basically promote the 5-day sales funnels challenge, earn anywhere from $1,700 to $2,500. Someone like Glenda could earn up to $30,000 commission. Hey, Devon, you know anyone that could learn something valuable from me? Yes or no?
You're looking at all of us.
There you go, right? And all you got to do is promote a proven campaign. Okay, like right now, I don't know how much we're spending on this. This month, how much are we spending on this? Like $1,000, $2,000 a day on Facebook. Yeah. Like we spend money on this. We do promotions. Now, we wouldn't do this if it didn't bring us more money back. Yes or no? All I'm saying is, how would you like to share the wealth with me? How would you like to get a piece of the pie? A guy from Canada, from Vancouver, Vancouver, not Toronto, Vancouver, just promoted this. That guy on the low end for sending out a few emails is probably going to make anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. That's just the bare minimum. Okay, I want him to make at least $50,000 so that he promotes me every single month. So every month, if I cut him 50 grand commissions, I'm probably going to make at least 100 grand a month extra. Yes or no? So that's a quick $1 million a year for me. You know, it's about 500-600 grand for him. We have a good relationship. Over the next three to 5 years, that's about $3 to $5 million for me. Yes or no, guys? That's how you have to start thinking. That's how you have to start. And think about this. If he sends me traffic, why would I pay him so much money? Because long-term relationship, guys. You see, wealthy people, we think long-term. You see these guys, I'm getting Abby and Devon and Jenny to come in. You think they're coming in for a 30-day program? Come on, get real, guys. They're coming in to build a long-term relationship with me for the next 6-12 months. Look at Glenda. She's been with me for the last 8 years. Are you guys getting this? It's the relationships that will make you wealthy, okay? So keep this in mind, right? Anyway, I don't want to give away all the stuff here, but like right now, so for example, I just took one screenshot of this, okay? This is around, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000 per day this campaign makes, okay? This is the Sales Funnels Challenge campaign. Can you guys see this? Okay, so this is like, basically I have a $97 product, a $997 product. Again, I don't openly sell these things. You have to go through one of my funnels to find it, okay? And we spent years building this stuff up. But what happens is my team will do all the delivery, all the customer service, all the fulfillment, all the refund, all the headache. So you don't even have to talk to any customers. All you do is you just post, okay? You copy and post, and maybe you don't want to put pictures of yourself. That's fine. Use this picture, copy and paste, okay? You don't know what to say. That's fine. Copy and paste templates to post. How many of you are looking at this and you're like, oh my gosh, I need this right now? Just type in, I need this right now. Touch with them. Okay. Type in, I need this right now. If you want to be one of our affiliates, you need to type in, I need this right now. Okay. Done for you, proven email swipes. How many of you don't want to write emails, don't care about writing emails, you just want to copy and paste? Anyone? Okay, there you go. Jenny, that's your copy and paste email campaigns. Okay, and we are updating. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but look on the left-hand side. How many emails? 28 emails. 67 pages of emails that you guys can use and promote like clockwork. Okay, 67 emails. If you said to me, okay, let me go and sign up for this other affiliate program. Okay, good luck. They're probably going to pay you 50 to 200, maybe $500 per sale. No one is like me being generous and paying you up to $2,500, $3,000. And some of you here could make $7,500, $10,000 commission with us. Okay. And then you said, oh, I want to now send emails. Okay, good luck. You can send emails yourself. You can use ChatGPT to write some if you know how to use that. Or you can pay a copywriter $100 to $200 per email. Over here, Facebook ads. You can use my images. Are these images high converting? Absolutely, because we use it in our own business. Okay, we use it in our own business. And how many of you believe if you use these proven images, me and Richard Branson, me and Russell Brunson, me and Tony Robbins, your conversions will be higher? Okay, see, sometimes it's not even about what you, like I said to Ismail, I say to my team all the time, hey, it's not even about what you like or what I like. I think I spoke to Abid today and I said, Abid, who cares what you like? No offense. Who cares what I like? Let's just follow the money. Right. And let me tell you this. This is like look, my hair just stood up again. This is one of those wealth transformational secrets that help me, because what happens is when you can shift from, oh, I want this, to where's the money? Let me just remove my ego and follow where the money is. You'll easily make way more. It's just a fact. Every single time, now I'm much better. I'm much better. I'm always like, I don't take credit personally, so I don't take any of the heartbreaks personally. So I will always think to myself, you know what, this is a blessing. Okay, cool. How would I maximize this? I get this opportunity. How do I take advantage of this? That's what's in my mind. Okay, and I'm open to saying, hey, I don't know. How many of you are good with saying I don't know? Like right now, I'm saying, hey, put in $1,000. You're going to speak to my team. If they believe that you're not going to make way more than what you're investing, we're not going to take you in as a client. Is that fair? No one else is doing this, Roy, Diana, Cheryl, no one is doing this. We're doing this. So you guys can take advantage of this. So anyway, these are Facebook ads. These are YouTube videos. Okay. How many of you are just like introverted? You don't want to make videos. Anyone? They're like, okay, well, guess what? I have spent $1 gazillion making videos. And this is what maybe one of the videos looks like. You will have access to use these videos.
Hey, when I joined the $75,000 Platinum Partnership from Tony Robbins, he is the number one thing that I learned. You ready for it? When I heard this, I was like, are you kidding me? And this is something that he also said was one of the most valuable things in business. And what is that? It's anticipation.
So imagine now, these are well scripted. How many of you like those videos, by the way? Show of hands. Okay. Like I show Ferrari, my lifestyle, me speaking on stage, winning awards, Forbes awards. Pictures with Tony Robbins. I just told you that was his $75,000 program. So all in all, this video, you could say, cost me 250 grand to make. Yes or no? You're not creating that video. You're just literally using that video, copying and pasting it, and videos like this to promote the 5-day challenge. So anyway, I don't want to go too much into this, but you guys can tell where I'm at. you can become an affiliate if you choose to. So this works for you if you're just starting off, if you don't have any other programs. You want to work with us, this is the final call. Ismail, let me know as soon as we have any more. How many of you are ready to just start with us? Okay, so if you, most of you have put down a deposit. If you haven't, Roy, Patricia, Eva, this is your chance right now. Put down $1,000 deposit and get started. Okay, so next, will this work for my business or what I'm trying to do? Absolutely. Wherever you're at, my team will have a conversation with you and figure out what is the best course of action. If they think, okay, this is not going to be for everyone, but if they look at you and they say, this is a 500K to $1 million earner, then some of you, I can't guarantee everyone, but there's going to be a handful of you that will be passed on to me. Okay. You get on the phone with me, you'll have about 15 to 20 minutes. Please come ready with all of your questions. I will personally answer them. Is that fair enough? Okay. I will also say, sometimes I will, drag the call on for a little bit longer if I feel like, but 15 to 20 minutes is usually what I like to spend, no more than that. Please be respectful. So bring your questions, okay? Bring your questions after you speak to my team. If we feel like, you know what, right now, you just need to make your first 100 grand, then my team will just offer you the programs. Is that okay with you guys? Okay, you don't want to talk to me anyway. I'm not that interesting. You just heard me for the last 20 hours for the last 5 days. Okay, what you need to do is make sure you speak to my team. This is one of the biggest questions we find. I don't know what to sell, how to sell. That's totally fine. We will help you figure out what to sell. You want to sell your own stuff? Do you want to sell my stuff? Do you want to sell stuff where you don't see, touch, store the products and you're selling digital programs and making an extra $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 a month? Okay, next. I hate technical stuff. You don't have any technical experience. Everything that we do has this in mind. I have no techie experience whatsoever. In fact, if you paid me right now, I probably wouldn't even know how to build my own funnel. Did that just shock someone here? You're like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And the funnels guy, like we've got like, Ismail, how many funnels do we have between both the accounts? 1250. He just said 1,200 or 1,500. We broke ClickFunnels more than once. I can tell you right now, hand on heart, I don't think I've ever created a funnel from beginning to end. Is anyone else mind blown? Yeah. Okay, so, but by the way, I own funnels.com and I sell funnels for up to 100, 150 grand. I'm like, just like what I said to you, if you go to the Ferrari showroom, go to Dubai, you go into the Dubai showroom, these rich dudes buy out 100, 200 Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And you see this young guy from Pakistan, from India, he's there walking around in sandals, selling you a $500,000 car. He doesn't drive that 500, he doesn't own the, it's okay. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? Right? Some of you get too hung up on the details. This is a poor man's thinking, okay? Something that I learned early on is don't sweat the small stuff, okay? If you sweat the small stuff, for example, I have a lot of doctors that come to me, right? In the doctor profession, you're dealing with a man or woman or children or whatever. You have to be perfect, okay? I would want a perfect doctor, just so you know, all right? When it comes to the internet world, do you really care that I don't have my branding and my logos on this? Do you really care that the colors are different? No. I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking, hey, wasn't the whole slides blue and gold and white and red? Why did Ismail just change it to black and gold? Like, I don't care. Abid, does that make do you make a different decision now? You don't want to work with me because you saw different colors? No one cares. So don't sweat the small stuff. Do I care if my hair doesn't look good? I don't care. So a lot of the times, if you've had a 9-to-5 job, if you've worked for somebody else, corporate America, corporate, corporate companies, whatever, if you're in like a accountant, doctor, lawyer, we have lots of these types of people that come in, then I understand you have to be perfect, okay? But in this world, in our world, you don't have to be, okay? You just have to make progress. So what if you already have a program mentor? Lots of people said the same thing. Listen, I don't have one personal fitness trainer. I have a nutritionist. I have a personal trainer. Then I have another accountability partner. They have an online personal trainer. Now I'm looking for another personal trainer that can help me get ripped. Okay, if someone shows you how to get to your journey faster, okay, if you're using the train today, what do you call them? The subway, or a bus. Let's use a bus, okay? And then someone comes to you and says, hey, you don't need a bus. You need to get in an Uber. Do you say, no, I'm going to stick with my bus? You're going to jump on the Uber, yes or no? Now, I come along and I say, hey, forget this, forget the Uber, forget the buses. Let's get on the plane. Now, someone else comes along, like Grant Cardone, and says, forget all of this. Let's go on my private jet. What are you going to say? No, I don't take private jets. No, you take whatever takes you the fastest, yes or no? All of you here, one thing is this, guaranteed. You have a pain or problem in your life, especially when it comes to funnels and business. I can't help you with any other area of your life, but when it comes to this, I'm your guy. Hopefully I've demonstrated this by now. And by now you realize that if you don't take action, nothing changes. So if you're here right now, you haven't ripped out your credit card and you haven't put your $1,000 refundable, no risk deposit, that's what you need to do right now. Okay, this way you book a call with my team. Next week, I don't know if the spots are going to be available if you have a chance to work with us. But like I said, I'm looking for 20 people right now. Handful of people to work with me one-on-one, handful of people to in a group coaching program, and then the low ticket program that I have, which is basically $2,000, you can get started. So we're looking for only 20 people. If you're like, but I don't know where to start, that's totally fine. We will show you step by step from 0 to 6 figures to 7 figures and beyond. My family won't support you. That's why you're joining a new family. I'm not telling you to ditch your family. I'm just saying, embrace us as your new family, okay? And we will show up and we will tell you the things that your own family won't tell you, okay? For example, for 10 years, I put on so much weight and I was so unhappy and very rich, should I say, okay? Mashallah, okay? And my family didn't say to me, you're really fat, you should lose some weight. But then I started hanging out with other people. And one of my friends, I started hanging out with him, and he makes millions and millions of dollars a month. And he said to me, hey, I just want to let you know, out of everyone in my crew, you're the only guy that's fat. You should work on that. And in that moment, I could have said to him, oh, you suck, how dare you? I'm like, no, I'm a man, I'm gonna step it up. How many of you are ready to step it up? I'm like, dude, bro, I'm 50 pounds overweight. Of course, I'm looking not the healthiest. You should tell me, yes or no. If you are in my inner circle program, you're in my program, and you're not making 10 to 30 grand a month, you and I need to have a chat. I will call you out on your BS. Is that okay with you? Now, if you're like, oh, I don't want him to, then don't join my stuff. Don't buy my stuff. You've had 15, 20 hours with me. You need this sort of feedback. How many of you agree? Okay. Now, when I talk to that friend of mine, all I do is I just send him pictures of my biceps and me working out in the gym. And I can't wait to meet him again because I'm already down 28 pounds. When I meet him, I'm probably going to be down 40 pounds. He won't even recognize me. But let me tell you this. He was a stranger, became a friend, now he's a mentor. And now he's a close best friend. You guys see where I'm going with this? Okay, but what about my family? Sometimes it's okay. Just love your family. Don't leave them. But now you need to embrace what else is out there. Okay, so I'm scared, nervous. If you wasn't scared and nervous, then this wouldn't be right for you. Okay, so it's good for you to have that feeling of like, oh, I don't know, because now you're going to be like, I'm paying attention. Trust me, Todd Phillips, who bought my 120K program, when I tell him to do something, he doesn't question me. How many of you guys get that? He said, you tell me, okay, done. I said, oh, you can have a week. No, Shaq is done. I'm like, I just told you have a week to get it done. No, it's done in 24 hours. I'm like, wow. He keeps me on my toes. I tell him to make 4 videos, 5 minutes each. I give him the word for word scripts. Boom, Shaq, I'm done. I'm like, man, that guy moves fast. Yes or no? Now, let me ask you this. As a mentor, as a teacher, as a trainer, do you think I love working with him? Absolutely. That guy can message me anytime and I'm there. Why? Because I tell him to do something, boom. Like, for example, Glenda, she launched her podcast show. I see her crushing it with YouTube videos, interviewing ladies, getting on other people's show. If she sends me a message, do you think I get back to her almost immediately? Which she can tell you. Yeah, she's in a group with my team, so I can also see what my team is doing with her. Do you think your chances of success is going to be 10 to 100 times more, Devon, if you also in that environment? Yes or no? So my question is, what's really holding you back? If you make these excuses like it's not the right time, I have no time. Okay, if you don't make the time right now, you're not going to make it in 6 months' time, in 3 months' time. Or I'll come back to it. Where are you coming back to? How do you even know I'm going to be around? I plan to be around, but how do you know that in a month or 2 months' time, I would want to work with you? Like I said, I'm taking on the 20 people right now for 100% success rate that I'm going to be working with you guys. And of course, you've tried things before, just like I tried every single pill probably on Amazon to lose weight. Have you ever tried those pills? Don't try them. This is not financial advice and it's not health advice. Okay, fat burning pills, triple X, red stamina pills, every single pill. Then I tried every single diet. And I'm like, man, why do these diets thing not work? Okay, for 10 years I tried it. And then guess what? And then a trainer that I paid a lot of money for, he said, you need to just go to the gym and work out on one machine. That's all he said. And I was like, I don't like those machines at all. He said, that's fine. That's why you're going to do something called boxing. Guys, I'm not kidding. I was so bad. The first time I probably hit a boxing bag was the first time in my entire life I started hurting my knuckles. You know, it was just so bad. It was so bad. But I never gave up. Just like this, okay? Don't give up. You're going to have a chance. So John just says, I'm excited to be part of the funds community. We're excited to have you here. Ismail, drop the link, funds.com/VIP. We're going to wrap this up, you guys. If you say, hey, I don't have enough funds to invest in my business, this is where you become resourceful. If you want it bad enough, you're going to find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you're going to find an excuse. Okay? And maybe, listen, you've been a professional excuse maker your whole life. Now you can change it. So look, this is the exact system that has worked for all of my top students. This guy started off with me. He used to work in a supermarket. Went on to build a multiple six-figure business. This guy has made so many millions, I won't even tell you, but let's just say it's well over 10 million plus. This guy came to me. Couldn't speak English properly. Glenda, do you remember Venkata?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah. And let me tell you about this kid, okay?
Yeah, and he was phenomenal, and wow, did he go. But I'm leaving, but I just wanted to say, Shaq, you were a total rock star. You over-delivered as usual. And if you guys are really thinking about it before I go, I'm telling you, it's just like a family. Honestly, Shaq didn't pay me to say anything or to be here. I come because I learn new things all the time. He's always there. All I do is send him a message and he'll always respond to me much sooner than I always expect, and he's just phenomenal. So you know what, if you're thinking this is the guy to go with, as I said, his team is fabulous. Every single day there's a new program or there's new training every single day, Monday to Friday, and each person that trains on each different area is absolutely phenomenal. So you know, it's kind of really a no-brainer. It's probably the best thing you can put your money into if you're going to do it. I've been around for a long time and I'm hoping to be around for a lot longer, and they're always doing and, you know, going out of their way for me, and they do it to everybody else. So it's not just me. So guys, honestly, if you can't invest in yourself, who else are you going to invest in? Thank you all. I have to do some work. It was a blast. And I got work.
I have so much love for you, Glenda, me and my team. We adore you. So thank you so much. And we're always here to support you. So coming to Venkata, guys, basically I'm going to end on this, okay? Venkata, I remember I coached him. He came to my event. and he had very strong Indian accent. Okay. How many of you feel a little bit insecure with, however you sound or look like? This is why we say we'll give you a system that's customized for you. So he came introverted, he just moved from, I think, India to Scotland, came down like 8 hours on a coach. And he says, hey, I want to work with you. I said, well, it's $40,000. Okay, back then, this was probably, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And he goes, well, I don't have the money. I said, of course, that's what everyone says. So you have to go find the money. He says, okay, I'm going to go find the money. He literally finds his friend's dad, calls him up. The guy lives in New Zealand, figures out a way, convinces him to get 40 grand, comes in, pays me $40,000. I saw this guy go from there to making over $1 million in sales. You know what he mastered? Only 2 things: YouTube ads and funnels. That's it. And he was such a perfect student. Okay, I don't know what it was, but he was such a good student. One day he says to me, hey, what can I do to look better, feel better? And I said, well, one thing you can do is basically work on your accent, fix up your dress sense. And I remember he told me, he went back, he fixed up his dress sense. In the moment, he said he felt very uncomfortable. And then, guys, he transformed his body, his mind, everything. So one day he gets on stage, because I invite people to come on my stage and share the story. So he gets on stage and he goes, guys, Shaqir told me my English sucks, so I got myself an English coach. And he goes, yesterday, for 2 hours, I practiced the letter W. I can now say W. And you should have seen everyone in the audience. Look, my hair just stood up. Everyone in the audience just went wild. I mean, this was a guy from India, couldn't speak English, comes to my event, finds the 40 grand, buys my stuff. I push him. I tell him, he had really bad dress sense. I told him, yo, you want people to take you seriously? You got to brush up on your hair. Fix your hair, get a good haircut, fix your clothes, look the part, because people respect someone that looks good in clothes. Yes or no? And I saw this guy transform, and I mean, he went on to help so many people. It's just, I can go on and on. You heard of Arfa, Ismail, Becca Barry. She worked for NASA. How many of you know what NASA is? 20 years, 20 years. Okay, 20 years. She comes to London, pays me $25,000. I thought, whoa, the American ladies must be super rich. This was one of the first ladies that ever paid me, right? I'm like, dang, this is sick. Okay, I was really young. She pays me 25 grand. Her first month, she makes 10 grand. Within month 6, she makes $100,000. Okay, and she tried every single thing. She got 2 kids. She worked for NASA as a business executive, something in Dallas, not Dallas, Texas, Houston. She's from Houston, Texas. Okay, in America. There's Ian. And again, we have so many students. Our goal is to help you guys and basically to give you a crash course over the next 30 to 90 days. Okay, all of our programs come with a better than ROI. So this is not a money back guarantee. This is a guarantee that if you do not get results, we will work with you until you do. How many of you like the idea of that? Okay, so some programs are like, hey, we'll give, you get your money back. This is a time-intensive program. So this is not this is not a money back guarantee. This is we're gonna help you get results guarantee. Does that make sense? There's only one qualification that you have to pass, which is you need to get on the phone. That's it. You have to get on the phone. And I already know from my team, unfortunately, like 2 to 3 people, they were mad disqualified, and they're not going to work with us. That's it. So hopefully it's not one of you guys, okay? But hey, if we believe we can't help you, we can't help you. Is that fair to say? If we believe we can help you, Devon, I'm going to push you. That's it. So, guys, I want to thank you all for being here. Like I said, this is an amazing opportunity right now. We have private weekly calls with us, me and my team, access to done for you resources, programs. Put down $1,000 down payment. If you're on a right fit, you'll get an immediate refund. We'll figure out what system's going to work for you. Funnels.com/VIP. I really enjoyed these 5 days with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this too. Please leave us a glowing review on the Facebook group. Maybe it's a 1-minute video or even a text. Just right now, whilst it's fresh in your mind, just go in there and just say something nice. And I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to go pray for you guys, for your success. Me and my team are here. Do not leave this empty-handed. You started, continue, commit. You've already committed the last 5 days. Don't be one of those people that just, oh yeah, it was nice, I'm motivated. Put down $1,000, stick you on a credit card. Go and do this. Funnels.com/VIP. I want to see you guys at the top. God bless you guys. Much love. Thank you so much for your time. And I will see you guys next week. Be active in the Facebook group. We do have some bonuses for you guys. And I'll see you then.